Good evening, welcome along to the Modus Super Series for your Thursday night tungsten fix here on the South Coast, where this evening a two-time world champion makes her bow on the big stage. Yes, BEAU GREAVES will be making her first appearance in the competition this evening. The much-awaited debut is about to happen. Watching her in action, as well as everything else that's going to take place, is primetime Matthew Edgar. And first and foremost, out of all the players that gets clamoured for here at the Modus Super Series, BEAU GREAVES is always high up on the list, and tonight we get to finally see her on that stage.
I don't think there's a single week gone by where I haven't seen someone request BEAU GREAVES to be here, and she's finally here. Took a little bit of time to get her here, but she's here now, the two-time world champion. She's coming here at the right time, coming here on some great form off the back of that women's series, and the people are going to have the handful here tonight with BEAU GREAVES.
We'll talk about her. We'll talk about Group B in a bit more detail in just a second. But this is the first time you've been watching this week. Let's tell you how the tournament bracket is going, because yesterday Scott Mitchell won Group A. He won 14 out of 15 games. It was a comprehensive group win for Scotty Dog. As far as Group C was concerned, an intriguing session this afternoon. Thomas Lovely and Marvin van Velzen leading the way there. An intriguing game involving Daniel Lee as well. Group B is what we're going to be watching this evening. We'll talk about in a bit more detail in just a second. But first things first, let's have a chat about Group C a little bit earlier on this afternoon, and there is two players really that dominated proceedings, Thomas Lovely and Marvin van Velzen.
It's all about those two for me. They're head and shoulders above in terms of the score and in terms of the all-round game. Daniel Lee shown signs, Stuart Kellett showed signs, but tomorrow they've got to do it over 5 games. And when you're looking at two players to come out over the 5 matches, it's the two at the top that I think are going to be uncatchable.
The action resumes 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on the Super Series YouTube channel. But our focus this evening is on Group B and that debut of BEAU GREAVES here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Only 20 years of age, but she has achieved so much in such a short space of time. Already a two-time world champion, won the World Masters, 22 Women's Series titles. It goes on and goes on, Matt. And look, we give players a big build-up, and in BEAU GREAVES' case, that quite literally tells you why.
The graphic isn't big enough. It goes on and on beyond that. It could be about 7 pages long. And I'm really excited to see BEAU GREAVES here. I've sat as a pundit and I've spoke about BEAU GREAVES many times before. And one thing I've always said is I think she should stick to the women's game, and I think she should stick to what she was doing. She made that decision to take the Women's World Championship at Lakeside rather than go to Ali Pali. I said that was the right thing. And she's making all the right choices. I'm really glad with the sort of journey she's been on, but selfishly, the fan inside me wants to see her mix it up a little bit more in things like development tours, potentially challenge tours, certainly here at the Super Series. And we've seen her take on a development tour this year, and she did very, very well in it. And now that fan inside of me really wants to see her here at the Super Series, and we're going to get to see it tonight.
Because she achieved so much so quickly, maybe people fast-track BEAU a little bit because of her talent. Do you think actually she's been doing the right things at the right pace, at her own pace?
1,000,000% correct. She's done everything right, whether it's her decision or the management or the people around her. They are making the right choices for a long-term development of the player. Now, I don't see a single conversation involving BEAU GREAVES where someone doesn't go, she should go to Q School. No, she shouldn't. There's loads of time for that. You don't have to rush and get on the Pro Tour. She's got a long time to develop, and she could really do things as well within the ladies' game where she could be probably the best ladies player that's ever existed. Yes, Trina Gulliver will currently take that mantle, and there's some big names ahead of her. People like Lisa Ashton, who's picked up that world title on 4 occasions, but BEAU is chasing that down, and I believe she's going to go places that no female player has gone before.
Of course, BEAU GREAVES in action, but it's a very good cast list of names in action this evening. Let's see what the bookies are thinking about proceedings. And they have Sebastian Bialecki off as the 11-8 favourite. And when you break down what he did in Group A and you break down the numbers altogether, it's not really a surprise, is it?
No, I think that's about right, really, in terms of the odds there. But I think you look a little bit further down and I look at Kevin Painter, and yes, he hasn't played well this week, but we know what he's capable of. And I think he'll probably be looking at that slide right now, because this will be coming on in the players' room. I think he might find that a little bit disrespectful, almost, to be such an outsider, knowing what he's capable of.
Let's talk Adam Lipscombe, late replacement into proceedings, coming in with a late call-up. But the last time we saw him here in this series, he got the whole week, and his average was deep in the late 80s. He got through to his first finals, and actually the signs are really positive. At 9-1, could he be a dangerous outsider for this group?
As long as he believes he will be, he will be. Sometimes I feel he just gets a little bit fragile at times. He just sort of flakes a little bit towards the back end of legs. When he's got that right, he's a dangerous player. We've seen it so many times here. I think it's all on how he feels coming into here, which might mean the early games for Adam Lipscombe could be very important. But absolutely, there's going to be value everywhere because I think no one's going to go through the card in this group.
It's 18 plus and begambleaware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series scene. Right, let's get involved in our first game of the evening session then, shall we? And it's the long-awaited debut of BEAU GREAVES on this stage. Her first assignment is Kevin Painter, the former Players Champion and the former World Finalist. Well, Bow and Arrow has been throwing superb stuff wherever she has plied her trade over the last couple of years, and the Live Lounge stage is the latest of which. And early on this evening, I caught up with her to look ahead to her Super Series debut. Beau, great to have you here at the Modus Super Series. How much are you looking forward to the next couple of nights?
Yeah, can't wait. I've been looking forward to it. Played well at the last weekend at the Women's Series, so hopefully I can carry it on, but just excited to play.
What's your first impressions on the building and the surroundings?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's heard a lot about it and obviously watched it for quite a while now, but it's nice to finally be here and get settled in.
It's a new challenge for yourself. How much are you looking forward to embracing it?
Yeah, it's one of them, innit? I know I'll probably have to play well to get some results against some of the lads, but yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm up for it and quite chill about most things. So yeah, if I play well and play my game, then hopefully I can just get over the line on a few. But if not, it is what it is, isn't it?
In terms of the weekend, fantastic one of the women's series, not dropping a leg throughout the course of the competition. In terms of what you've achieved so much. Is that one of your proudest moments, going through a whole tournament without dropping a leg? Yeah,
it was great. Do you know, like I said in my interview before, I didn't know that I was close to doing it. But yeah, it's just, I feel like I've done stuff that it'll take a lot of fun of a lady to replicate. So yeah, it was great, and I think I was more happy to sort of just win the comp and get back into winning ways. But yeah, it was definitely a bonus to look back on.
And in terms of here at the Super Series, it's a different type of challenge for yourself. Are you embracing, just looking forward to new little things in 2024?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm always open to new opportunities and stuff, and I think I'm quite locked away with some of the stuff I choose. I like to play what I enjoy and stuff, but I think maybe now is the time to, push myself a little bit more, and this is definitely one of them things to do. And but yeah, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm just grateful to be invited, and hopefully I can play well. But yeah, 2 nights at it, so hopefully it'll be all right.
And just finally, have you set any goals, or are you just going to take it one game at a time?
Yeah, literally just one game at a time. Do you know what I mean? Just play. Do you know what I mean? Just try and enjoy playing, other than think about winning or losing. It doesn't really matter to me. I think I'm quite grateful to be in the position I am with darts and stuff. So yeah, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I win, lose, or whatever. I'll still be smiling at the end of it. So that's the main thing.
We'll look forward to watching you play, Beau. All the very best. Good luck.
Thank you, love.
BEAU GREAVES makes her long-awaited debut on the Modus Super Series stage, the 2-time champion of the world, and we'll be hoping that's the only trip she makes this evening on the Live Lounge stage. Well, at least she's become accustomed to the environment as she takes on Kevin Painter in the opening match of the evening session. Well, what a CV BEAU GREAVES has. At the age of just 20, she has won what many players who've been playing for decades could only dream of achieving. 2-time world champion, world masters champion, has been #1 in the WDF system in the women's side of the game since September 2022. The 20-year-old from Doncaster comes with a big reputation, a reputation she has earned by severe success. Kevin Painter has had a great career of his own, the 56-year-old from rugby, the former Players Champion back in 2011. And this is the type of tie that he would love to get stuck into. But Beau throws her first arrows on the Super Series stage. It's a debut we've been waiting a long time for, Matthew Edgar. How do you think she's going to fare?
Well, I was just literally peering over and looking through the window and watching the 2 players in their preparation, and it's pretty much what I thought it'd be. Kevin Painter getting really in the zone, almost taking a bit of offence to the fact that the attention will all be on BEAU GREAVES.
80.
Wanting to get up here and get up for the task. BEAU GREAVES walking around with a big smile on her face. She said she'd play with a smile on her face, and
96.
certainly that seems to be the attitude she's bringing here, this laissez-faire, which ultimately means everything's going to be a bonus.
And I think it was such an intriguing question to ask her because
83.
there's been big expectation labelled on Beau's shoulders for so long now. And this being a different experience for her, coming into the Super Series format, coming into an unknown. It's unknown for anybody that
100.
walks into this building for the very first time. How will she kind of set her expectations?
I think deep down she'll at least want to be here on Saturday night. She's played on
134.
stages, on different setups all around the world. This will be nothing new to her. It's not where we get some players that come here on debut and they're not quite
100.
experienced to
Beau, you
the
require
various stages and
123.
feelings and cameras and lights. Beau's been under the camera since she was about 11 years old.
98.
The bullseye would have been a ton topper
you
to have
require
won a first leg on the
167.
stage. What could Painter make of the 167? This is to save throw. Chibber 19 would have left the bullseye, so Greaves is back for 25 to take out the opening leg.
99. Beau, you require 25.
Definitely focused Kevin Painter here.
Game shot on her first leg. Beau
A
Greaves.
good start there for Beau Greaves. No early nerves at any point of that. A comfortable hold to throw there. 18
Second
darts
leg.
in
It's
the
Kevin
end.
to throw first. Game on.
She's here to compete. But this is the steely,
140.
focused, determined Kevin Painter. Out to try and spoil the party. He knows there's going to be a spotlight on this game. And he would have played
100.
many games over the years where he'd have gone in while the spotlight was on the other player. And he'd have come away with a spotlight on himself.
81.
We've been saying it all week. Kevin's the type of player that likes to play on the edge, and I think something like this, where the attention's all on Beau Greaves, I think that will suit him because it gives him something
97.
to get at. Over the course of the week in Group A, Kevin's average was only 81.18.
95.
It was a fantastic one on Tuesday, which saw him in the position that he's in now. But what we did see at the end of yesterday's session against Doug Bayman, a game that had a bit of an edge to it, he
60.
played his best darts, 91.22 average, 4 from 6 in the doubles and 3 maximums. He can really turn it
95.
on when he needs to turn it on. He's got a chance to level this game up. And unless Beau hits a treble here, he's going to have 6 darts on
60.
90. And indeed he will.
Kevin, you require 90.
That means he wasn't going to start on the 20s and leave the opportunity of the bullseye.
50.
Leaves himself handy on one of his favourite doubles tops. So 3 darts in hand
94.
for Kevin Painter
Kevin,
to
you
level us
require
up.
40.
In that same block of darts, 6 visits to the board. That feels like it's going to be the vibe of the night.
Game shot on his second leg. Kevin Painter.
It's an instant reply in the exact same style. 18 darts for the artist.
Third
On a
leg.
piece.
It's Beau to throw first. Game on.
Admittedly, and granted it was under different circumstances, but you've made a debut on this stage with pressure on your back for different reasons. As Beau hits her first maximum on the Super Series stage. What's it like when you go in with that tag on your shoulders for the first time?
Well, I won't say it's
26.
a tag. I'd say it's almost like a chip on your shoulder. You go in there with a bit of swagger. You go in there knowing that the attention's on you at the moment. And Beau's going to know that people will be tuning in tonight to see how she gets on.
60.
And it feels like this first couple of legs has been the sparring, the jabs have been thrown, where maybe now we're going to start to see a few
40.
haymakers.
And while big numbers tuning in on the Super Series YouTube channel, do us a favour and click that subscribe button. Gives you plenty of bonus
100.
content, including our bullseye challenges, as well as giving you notifications as to when we're live for 8 sessions a week. And don't forget to follow us on our social media
54.
handles. It is at
Beau, you require
MSS Darts,
161.
Greaves 161, and 6 from here to open up a 2-1 lead in this opening match of the session.
Well, no resistance to the throw
60.
here from Kevin Painter, giving BEAU GREAVES all the time she needs at the back end of this one. But this is what I mean about the focus of Kevin Painter. Earlier on in the week, we've seen him throw darts away at situations where it feels like the leg
101.
was already gone. Where not now, he's staying to the task.
Double 16 for what would have been
69.
BEAU GREAVES' first ton-topping checkout on the Super Series stage. Is going to return for double 16 to move herself halfway to the victory post in her debut match. But under some severe pressure by Painter with that
BEAU
140.
require 32.
Just had a little side
Game
step
shot on
there
the
to the
third
right-hand
leg,
side,
BEAU
and for the
GREAVES.
third leg in a row, we've got a holder throw within that 6 visits. I really do feel
Fourth
like that's
leg,
going to
it's
be
Kevin
the
to throw
standard
first.
tonight. 6 visits and
Game
less
on.
throughout.
What do you think BEAU GREAVES would have thought
40.
about the proposition of facing Kevin first?
She'll absolutely love the opportunity. We know BEAU GREAVES loves a challenge, and she's got an opportunity here of playing a
60.
player who has reached a World Championship final and has won a TV title. That being the Players' Championship when he won that, beating Mark Webster in the final at the Doncaster Dome.
60.
Ironically, the hometown of BEAU GREAVES. Something we've got in common, that is the hometown of Doncaster. Home of the Rovers,
60.
the Donny Dome.
When BEAU won that World Championship in 2022, beat Kirsty
39.
Hutchinson by 4-0 in the final, she became the youngest ever player to have won a World Championship in senior darts,
96.
beating the record of Jelle Klassen, who won the Lakeside title back in 2007 at the age of just 21.
96.
She's a player that's sort of been under the microscope from the very start. I remember there was a bit of a documentary about her when she was just 11-year-old, herself and her brother,
140.
coming through the ranks. And then there's sort of been a microscope on her all the time through making a county debut for
85.
Yorkshire.
BEAU require 145.
Flying through the system. She's almost ran out of system really now, hasn't she, in the ladies' game, which is
100.
why we're seeing her now make this sort of crossover.
And is now threatening the Kevin Painter break to move 3-1 up, and she'd then have the darts to complete her first win on this live lounge stage.
105. BEAU require 45.
Should be 2 at double. It's going to have to spurn a dart en route to double 16.
13. Kevin, you require 76.
Well, Painter's been a passenger in this leg, but he may get the opportunity to take it if he can find tops.
56.
Drops below. That's kind of been
BEAU
Painter's miss
require
this week.
32.
Greaves back for 32 for the break.
Game shot
No
on the
mistake.
full flag. BEAU GREAVES.
And now she's got a bit of breathing room as well. A little roll of the eyes. It wasn't what she was hoping for as such, but certainly
Fifth leg. It's BEAU to throw first.
the result she wanted,
Game
winning
on.
the leg. A leg away now, and 2 of those should have the advantage of throw.
How important is it for her
58.
to get that first win to settle herself down into proceedings?
I don't think she needs to settle down too much. I think she always is settled. I've never seen her
60.
flustered, to be honest. She's very cool and calm under pressure. Wasn't that one thing that Paul Nicholson once put on a dart flight? Cool under pressure. With
60.
a pair of sunglasses. Maybe BEAU GREAVES can adopt that one. Just having a look over to the
84.
chat as well. Thank you for joining us this evening. I know you're probably all here to check out BEAU GREAVES. She's doing you proud, 3-1 up at the moment against the artist. And David says, Matt, so you're not even the best player in your hometown. David, I'm not even the best player in my own house anymore, never mind my own town.
There is one thing you and BEAU both have in common. That's WDF ranking titles to your name. I think she has a few more than you, mind.
We've also
41.
both got 2 arms, 2 legs. Full head of hair.
and possibly winners on the Super Series stage, because BEAU
97.
GREAVES now is closing in. Only a Painter Max really puts pressure on here, and we saw this a couple of times from Kevin in Group A, where he'll just take a step back if the dart doesn't feel properly comfortable in his hand and the grip isn't 100% there.
43.
He will just readjust.
Yeah, he's been struggling with the grip recently. We actually saw him hold it in his hand and say, "Hold it there." Maybe just needs to get like a bit of a reference point as such on the dart. Maybe a little bit of
43.
tinkering with the grip. Again, just trying to find where to hold the dart. Something not quite sitting right for Painter. And it doesn't look like he's going to have long to put it right in this game. But the beauty of a Group B, you don't tend to find that you're in the back
140.
room for too long.
Oh, you require 143.
So 2 ton plus outs for either player. 1 to win the game, 1 to save the game. This would be some way to secure
Game
her
shot, and the
first
match,
Super Series
BEAU
win.
GREAVES.
BEAU is throwing some golden arrows, and she's got off to a golden start on the Super Series stage. She gets the better of the former world finalist Kevin Painter by 4 legs to 1, doing so with a 1-4-3 checkout. A superb start by BEAU GREAVES here at the Modus Super Series, beating Kevin Painter by 4 legs to 1. Coming up after the break, Adam Lipscombe up against Sebastian Bialecki. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Before the break, BEAU GREAVES got a first win on the big stage in her first game here at the Super Series, averaging 83.28, 4 from 9 on the doubles, and finishing off in style, a 1-4-3 checkout to beat Kevin Painter by 4 legs to 1. Next up for us, Sebastian Bialecki, the bookmaker's favourite to go on and win this Group B, up against Adam Lipscombe, the local favourite from Portchester. They'll be watching in their droves in the Wicker Mill pub tonight to see whether Adam can make it through to a second finals night here on the South Coast. The 31-year-old from Portsmouth made the final the last time he was here, Baby boy is hoping for another big night here in Portsmouth. He takes on Bialecki, who is a former Champions Week qualifier. He's also a former UK Open quarter-finalist, is Bolt. Another player at 20 years of age who's got quite the darting resume. It's amazing to think that the two players who are the favourites in a lot of people's eyes to win this group have a combined age of 40.
100.
Sickening, really, isn't it, when you think about it? It makes me feel old. But Sebastian Bialecki, we look at what he's achieved, that quarter-final at the UK Open, the key point that we remember due to the fact it was on the telly.
140.
But my mind goes to that WWF gold ranking event he picked up in Denmark that booked him his place at Lakeside,
60.
because these events, I can vouch for, are not easy to win. Now, anyone can sit at home, as I did, very ignorant to the fact, and you just look at the averages and go, I'd win that. And when you go
58.
there and you can't practice, you can't prepare, you've got hours between games, the board conditions aren't always great, you've got someone marking the board
100.
incorrectly, you had to wait for... There's all these different things that go on that actually make it really hard. And I remember having this conversation with a couple of players at the start of the year, Bradley Brooks and Ted Everts, and they were saying, we're going to do some events.
95.
And I says, it's going to be an eye-opener, and it's going to be nothing like you've experienced before. It's going to take you time to adjust. You're not just going to go in and win it. They were like, oh, we'll be fine. And after the first event, they said to me, I see what you mean.
25.
So for him to pick up one of them gold events where there would have been 600-700 players, it would have been dragged out over 12 plus hours. I think that's a massive achievement for Bialecki. And I would probably put that on par with that quarter-final at the UK Open.
Bold call that from Matthew Edgar. Bialecki has left himself on a finish after 12 here to break the throw in the opening leg. 73 is what he wants to take the opening rubber of this particular match. And he's going to have one dart at tops to break
53.
the Lipscombe throw. And if Adam wants to win this first leg, you get the sense he's going to have to take this 116 out. Goes the 19s route. And he himself is going to have a dart at tops to win the leg. And he can find the tops to win the leg. Lipscombe saving his throw of a 116 checkout to take the lead against the pole by a leg to nil.
Second leg, it's Sebastian to throw first. Game on.
Well, what did I say at the start of the show, Henry? I said I feel like Adam Lipscombe needs to start well, and if he starts well, will continue well.
85.
I'd say that's starting well.
Well, we've seen worse starts on the Super Series stage.
125.
Going back to that tournament in Denmark, was that the one where Sebastian then tweeted saying, cool tournament?
42.
I can't say that I'm stalking the Twitter feed of Sebastian Bialecki, so
140.
I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure by the sounds of it you are.
It's a great Twitter account, Sebastian Bialecki's.
Oh, let's go have a look, shall we?
59. $140.
Well, Lipscombe here has taken the march. He won the first leg, saved the first leg with that 116 checkout. Now has left himself on 96 after 9 to take a 2-0 lead. And Sebastian Bialecki, who was the bookmaker's favourite to go on and
100.
win this particular
Adam,
group, could
require
find himself
96.
impelled in the first game. Double 18 for an 11 darter. 2 9s. That dart in the double 18 was wildly inside. But no mistake with a double 9. It's a 12 darter. It's 2-0 Lipscombe. Doing so in 30 darts, an average of 100.2
Third leg, it's Adam to throw first.
for the Portchester man.
Game on. $140.
And he's really building up a head of steam.
Well, I've gone along and had a look at
135.
Sebastian B180, and I can't quite see it as what you've made it out to be.
95.
It's quite a good news site of all the different places Sebastian Bialecki has played and is playing, and the most recent tweet on there is saying he finished second in Group A
55.
and he thanks his sponsors.
Meanwhile, Lipscombe averaging in excess of 103.
75.
Well, that's the second time tonight that our referee, Jack Garwood, has been hit. BEAU GREAVES aimed one at him in the first game, and Adam Lipscombe has tried to hit him at mid-off in the second match. I don't know what Jack's been saying in the practice darts,
58.
but he's seemingly not a popular character. For those who are intriguing to see how BEAU GREAVES gets on, she's in action
131.
next against Rob Collins. May not be long.
Baby boy doesn't want to wait around, and I just love that logo on the back of his shirt.
57.
Keeps
Adam, you
catching my
require
eye.
60.
He's throwing darts that are catching the eye. And he's
Shot on
into
the
a
third
3-0
leg,
lead.
Adam Lipscombe.
Obtains that 100.2 average. 3-0 up. And Bialecki
Fourth flag. It's Sebastian to throw first.
is
Game
in a
on.
world of trouble in this game.
Well, the way he started this game, you feel like those people were expecting to come and fill this arena if Adam Lipscombe is here on
55.
Saturday night. Maybe already heading over to dartshop.tv and just hovering the finger over the buy ticket button.
140.
Well, for those of you who are new to us here at the Super Series, you can join us on a Saturday evening at the Live Lounge. Tickets available via dartshop.tv. Available for every single Saturday in, or you can scan that
96.
QR code which takes you to that said website. Tickets are available for every single week here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, including our Champions Week,
140.
up until the middle of July. We're based at the Modus Live Lounge in Portsmouth, on the south coast of England.
$100.
And it is a very good night out. Intimate experience, get up close and personal with the players.
And Henry Deacon's even got a discount on signed
95.
photos at the moment, aren't you? You're doing them, what, for a £5?
I've got the Neil Warnock bum bag. Already pre-signed. Well, Lipscombe, 126 for the match and a
85.
comprehensive 4-0
Adam, you
win.
require 126.
He's got 6 from here, so doesn't have to chase the bullseye if he doesn't want to. But one thing we know about Adam, and he's known for this, is sometimes he'll just go straight for it. Oh,
Game
and he'll
shot,
find
and the
it.
match,
And that's 2
Adam
matches in a
Lipscombe.
row, which have been won with ton plus checkouts. BEAU GREAVES hit the 1-4-3 to beat Painter, and Lipscombe has demolished the group favourite Sebastian Bialecki 4-0. Doing so with a 1-2-6 checkout and an average of 105.47. What an intriguing start to the night's proceedings here in Portsmouth. Coming up next, Rob Collins and BEAU GREAVES. Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth for the Modus Super Series. And before the break, we saw Adam Lipscombe beat the group favourite Sebastian Bialecki by 4-0, averaging 105.47. It was a superb performance. 4 from 6 on his doubles and 2 ton plus outs. And so the last player we're yet to see this week is about to take to the stage. Rob Collins, the man of steel from Bognor Regis, former Challenge Tour winner, up against BEAU GREAVES, who has already lit up the stage here at the live lounge in Portsmouth tonight. Got the better of Kevin Painter by 4-1 in the opening game of the session. And a 1-4-3 checkout to secure that particular victory. It was a debut that was always going to harbour headlines, and the way she played at points, you could see why.
Yeah, some really good explosive darts at times, no more so than the 1-4-3 finish to win that match against Kevin Painter. And
First leg, it's Rob to throw first. Game on.
Very happy with the points. But another handful task here. Rob Collins, a man who has picked up Challenge Tour success.
140.
The level of darts that BEAU GREAVES has yet to taste. We do feel at some stage she is going to sort of make that switch and play in a few of those events. That's if it goes that far, because she started one on the development tour and there are actually tour cards available on that development tour. She doesn't have to accept one.
47.
But if she was to do one on development tour, she could bypass the whole system involving challenge tours and Q schools.
Turning down tour cards from Associate Circus, otherwise known as the Dean Reynolds dilemma. Well, BEAU, as you say, has played on the development tour this year. He's made a couple of quarterfinals in DT2 and DT3.
80.
And I can imagine that for her, the pressure of playing in those tournaments must outweigh probably sometimes, maybe
100.
even playing in some of the World Championship matches she's played in.
I genuinely don't feel she feels too much pressure playing darts. I think she just really enjoys it. And for BEAU GREAVES, she's been playing from such a young age that it's just all she knows. It's her lifestyle. I don't think there's anything really that's going to phase her or make her performance level
100.
drop too much. And
Rob, you require 151.
it's very rare that you ever see a below par performance from BEAU GREAVES.
Tops for yet another ton plus out.
111. BEAU, you require 118.
You don't go below par, it's just if par is enough on that day against the calibre opponent she's up against. And it's double 19. She's still going.
BEAU GREAVES.
She left the stage with a 1-4-3 finish. She welcomes it back with a 118.
Second leg, it's BEAU to
Fantastic
throw
moments
first.
here from BEAU
Game
GREAVES.
on.
How much is Rob Collins going to rue that misstart at tops, that opportunity?
180.
And BEAU really is in flow now.
140.
I think this is something she's going to have to get to terms with as well here at the Super Series. The focus and the determination of her opponents. But hold on a minute. We have seen it here before from a female player, Fallon Sherrock, hitting a 9-dart finish up on that stage. Can BEAU GREAVES add her name to that honour roll?
BEAU, you require
But this, on debut.
The 7th dart goes a-begging. We temper the excitement for now.
65.
And in fact, the player who Fallon Sherrock hit that history-making 9-darter against is in this group, Adam Lipscombe.
Could BEAU do it later on to
60.
Adam Lipscombe?
BEAU, you require 76.
Could he be on the wrong end of it once again? The way he's just played, he might be on the right end of a 9-darter. Tops for BEAU GREAVES to double the lead.
36.
Has got time on her side. I wonder whether Rob Collins has just been hit by the BEAU GREAVES haymaker and has just struggled to find a response to it.
40. BEAU, you require 40.
GREAVES has got all the time she wants.
Game shot on the
13
second
darter,
leg,
2-0
BEAU GREAVES.
lead, averaging 107.36.
Third leg, it's Rob to throw first. Game on.
One thing you'll get from Rob Collins, if this is the first time you've watched him, is a whole manner of facial expressions. He's as entertaining to watch
43.
away from the board than he actually is when he throws darts. That's nothing against his darting ability, because he is fantastic. But BEAU GREAVES,
60.
averaging 102.77, and to you and I, this is no surprise at all.
No, she's capable of this.
100.
But I do take my mind back to leg number 1 when Rob Collins missed that dart at tops of the 151. As that just completely turned and changed his game, BEAU GREAVES stepped up, took out the 118 finish, back-to-back 180s.
Do you think she's got an aura
57.
on that stage already, even though she's a debutant, because of what she's achieved, because of the name, because of the reputation, that other players will have that sort of feeling when they play her?
Oh, absolutely, because
57.
they will know that people will be watching BEAU. People will be interested in BEAU, whether they're tuning in now to watch, or they're watching later on the highlights, or they're watching on the social platforms.
60.
They know that BEAU GREAVES will bring a spotlight with her, and for 15 minutes they're going to share that spotlight with BEAU GREAVES, and they've got an opportunity to showcase their talents within it.
140.
And with that is why you're seeing this focused look on Kevin Painter in the opening game, and now you're seeing it right across the face of Rob
100.
Collins.
BEAU you require 144.
But she said a 143 and a 118. The 144 isn't going to follow suit.
92. Rob, you
Now,
require
Collins
141.
He's already missed a dart at Dahl for a big out. He's not going to get another go in this particular leg. Those are the opportunities he's being restricted to. As Greaves comes back for 52 for 3-0, the double break,
93.
and then throwing
BEAU you require 52.
for a whitewash win.
Functionality of the finishing has been fantastic for BEAU GREAVES, and by that I mean she's not come up and missed or let an opportunity pass her by, and that continues. Yes, she's missed a couple of doubles, but she hasn't missed doubles that have cost her the opportunity to win the leg and allow her opponent back to the board. It has been controlled performance all the way through for BEAU GREAVES, and I'm already looking ahead to the next fixtures coming up, and well,
100.
BEAU GREAVES' next fixture would be against Adam Lipscombe, the man who's just spit 105. That could be fireworks. Long way to go, though, before
140.
then. He's got to get the job done here, for starters.
100.
But just looks completely unflappable.
Well, you mentioned at the weekend how she won a women's series without dropping a leg. If she could win
100.
this particular leg, she would have won 2 matches for the concession of just a solitary leg.
Things going well for sport in Doncaster
58.
at the moment, is it? BEAU GREAVES picking up titles and doing well here at the Super Series. Doncaster Rovers, a hometown football club, a win of 10 in a row, and coming from absolutely nowhere, being in a relegation
100.
battle, to being in the playoffs in League Two.
$137. Rob, you require 161.
He's herself on 106. Collins may have had to have taken that 161 out to save the match, because she's already had a couple of ton toppers. She's already
85.
won a game with a ton
BEAU
plus
require
finish.
106.
She can make it back to back if she can find the 106. And she should get a dart. A double 16.
74.
Not to be on this occasion.
Rob,
So
you require
Collins,
76.
who's only had the 1 dart at tops in this game, may get 1 more, may get 2 more. Tops.
Game shot
Found.
on the 4 flag.
Perfectly
Rob
pinned in the middle of the
Collins.
bed. And Collins gets the break. And suddenly, if he wins this leg and brings it back to 3-2,
5th leg. It's
the
Rob to throw
nerves could
first.
begin to jangle into play.
Game on. $80.
Makes you wonder where the career of BEAU GREAVES will go. We know we're
60.
watching it sort of not at the start, but we're sort of getting into the middle part of it now, and decisions were made sort of over the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years, in terms of what the long-term future is.
57.
But I really do stand by that statement I made at the start, where I do believe that we could be looking at the most successful female player of all time right here.
180.
And the thing is, she's putting in numbers time after time after time, the like of which we haven't seen in the women's game.
100.
Sort of a dominance that reminds you of Trina Gulliver in her prime.
180.
But that is a fourth 180 of this match, all of them in the favour of BEAU GREAVES.
And could seal it with an 11 dart leg,
94.
averaging 102.5. Double 12. Now double 6.
69.
Doesn't go. Collins may have to take out the fish.
170.
Well, it's not on.
100. But you require 12.
To make it 2 wins from 2. And to cap off a remarkable performance.
Game shot.
BEAU
And the
GREAVES
match,
doubles
BEAU
up.
GREAVES.
It's 2 wins from 2 to kickstart her campaign. An average of 97.62 is in excess of the ton for pretty much the whole of the game. A 118 checkout to start, 4 from 11 in terms of the outer ring. 4 180s in the contest. Coming up after the break, Kevin Painter up against Adam Lipscombe. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. We're enjoying a fantastic evening's worth of action in Group B. Before the break, BEAU GREAVES got a second win in succession on the Super Series stage, gaining the better of Rob Collins by 4 legs to 1, averaging 97.62, 4 from 11 on the doubles, hitting 4 180s in the process. In fact, there's been 5 180s tonight, and BEAU GREAVES has hit every single one of them. Our fourth game of the evening sees Kevin Painter, who lost out to BEAU in the opening game of the evening session, take on Adam Lipscombe, who's put in the performance of the night thus far, averaging 105.47, 2 ton-plus checkouts, en route to getting the better of the group favourite, according to the bookies, Sebastian Bialecki, by 4 legs to 0. You get the sense that if these two play to type in terms of game 1, Adam will be a comprehensive winner.
No two games are the same, though, here. And one thing that Kevin Painter would have been aware of was that performance of Adam Lipscombe in the opening game. And he would be well and truly on warning. But we'll keep an eye on that
100
ongoing grip issue that seems to be plaguing Kevin Painter at the moment. You see him already sort of looking down at the barrels. You sort of see him like try and take 60 practice grips at times in the background just to try and get familiar, build up that repetition and the
45
sort of muscle memory, as it's more commonly known, without going into the two depths and the ins and outs of all that sort of terminology.
100.
But straight away there, after releasing that, straight looking down at the hand. It's not nice when you're up there on the stage and you're trying to play your best, but you just know something's
93.
not right and you're trying to figure out the mechanics of the throw rather than just concentrating on the treble 20 and trying to fill it up.
140.
And what doesn't help is when you've got players doing what Adam Lipscombe are doing against him.
44.
Leaving 101 after 12.
Adam, you require 101.
Quintessential red pen leg. Treble 19, now double 12. Stupendous start for Adam Lipscombe. That's his third ton plus checkout in 5 legs that he has won tonight.
Second leg, it's Adam to
The
throw
101
first.
joins the 116 and the 126.
This is some night of darts already, isn't it?
60.
I know we sometimes get found guilty around here of over-egging the pudding every now and then. But the numbers, the drama, the fun,
95.
already is pretty much up there for a Group B. Last time Adam was here, we saw a massive improvement in terms of his game, in terms of the numbers he put in on a consistent basis. We knew the A game was there, but didn't always show as much as maybe he did in the past.
99.
He's been doing a lot of practice, been playing a lot locally, and it really is bearing fruit.
100.
And I think the biggest thing for Adam Lipscombe is he believes, whereas maybe sometimes we saw more than what he saw in himself.
85.
But maybe he's just starting to get used to it now here at the Super Series. He's coming here as a late call-up as well, which
85.
is a bit of a bonus trip here down to Portsmouth or round the corner for him. But maybe when he first started coming here, maybe he felt like a bit of an imposter. Maybe he felt like a bit of a passenger, a bit of a guest. And now he feels like he belongs.
94.
I reckon the biggest thing that helped him was
Adam,
when he
you
won the
require
ADC qualifier to
156.
get here last time. I think that truly made him feel like he belonged on that stage because he'd earned his passage there.
140. Kevin, you
Well,
require
look, we've had players win weeks here
128.
before and still feel like they don't fully deserve their place here. Jamie Kellin springs to mind in that. Kevin not happy with the miss on the 20s there, offering
90.
Adam Lipscombe an opportunity
Adam,
to
you
double his
require
lead.
16.
Double 8 for 2-0. This really is superb.
This is mightily impressive across the day. Reminder, his opening average
Third leg,
was
it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
105.47. a 4-0 demolition job against Sebastian Bialecki,
58.
who is the group favourite.
I'm already looking forward to Game 6, Matt. I don't know about you.
100.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to be a main event clash the way they both are playing. BEAU GREAVES and Adam Lipscombe. How much will that advantage of throw that BEAU GREAVES will have in that game come into play?
And I can tell you as well, before that Game 6 gets underway, we will reveal the lineup for next week. And
95.
It is a very good lineup.
Can't say I'm looking forward to seeing all the players here next week, but that's a story we'll get into later on.
100.
Put it this way, Matthew Edgar hasn't got a board up in his house about hitting 180s to beat certain said player.
$41. $41.
It's not happening for Kev. We've seen him tinker with equipment on a few occasions this week. He's moved over to the Nathan Aspinall dart. He's
61.
had part Aspinall darts, part Clayton darts, the ones he's using now.
60.
And even when Painter may have felt he may have a looking in the leg, Lipscombe hits a 140 to leave himself on 64 to threaten the double break. Hasn't lost a leg yet so far, Lipscombe. Could be 7 in a row if he can pin the 64.
105. Adam, he requires 64.
In fact, he's had one dart at a double faced against him so far this evening.
24.
He may get one or two more
Kevin,
faced against him
96.
here. Double 18. Now 2 9s. In it
Shot on
goes.
a third
Back
leg,
to 2-1.
Kevin Painter.
But Painter still needs to find the break.
Give him something to feel good
Full
about.
flag. It's Adam to throw first. Game
But
on.
it's how you react to positivity. Do you react to it in a way of, oh, where's that been? Or do you go, right, here we go from this point? And a lot of that has to come from how you truly feel. You can't force or manufacture that. And I think we're going insight there into Kevin's mind that even with positive hit there,
78.
he just can't seem to feel comfortable. And a lot of that will come down to that grip. If you don't feel comfortable with the action, the technique, the equipment, it's very, very hard
47.
to find that best level. There it is again, the issue with the grip for Kevin Painter. There was a point in the week where he was actually looking at the dart in his
27.
hand before throwing to make sure he had it in the correct place.
$70.
Painter knows a 2-triple visit here could just begin to stem the tide in his direction. It's not going to be for
56.
KP, and so Lipscombe now full steam ahead for a 3-1 lead. Over 2,000 of you watching the Super Series live concurrently right now. Thank you so much for doing so.
108.
And you're watching some fantastic arrows by Adam Lipscombe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more darting content.
70.
As
Adam, you require
Lipscombe's looking for a
104.
4th-ton topper of the evening to win what will be his 7th leg of the night. Tops.
84.
He is going to come back for more.
Time on his side. And a treble here will leave Kevin finishing. It'll be the biggest one of them all.
100.
The
Adam, you
big
require
fish.
20.
It's double 10. Well, Lipscombe up to the 5s. Just resets and recomposes. But Painter's going to get a chance.
Kevin,
It's an
you require
outside chance, but it's a
170.
chance. If you had one shot and one opportunity.
60. Adam, you require 20.
Well, he couldn't lose himself, and he may lose the leg. Double 5. Doesn't go,
10.
but Painter's being
Kevin,
fed
you
scraps on the
require
table.
110.
Took out the 96's previous effort, the 170, now the 110 to level up. Double 15. Straight is the other
84.
side.
Adam,
But
you
now
require
Lipscombe
10.
can't faff around on the outer ring. Double 2. Doesn't go.
8.
And Painter's been given a reprieve and the first real tangible
26.
chance of the match.
Well, Adam Lipscombe's done everything right so far tonight, and all of a sudden, he's in danger of imploding. Kevin Painter's got a chance to step in here, level up the game, and get it back on throw. Just looks at the dart, makes sure it's in the hand where he wants it to be. Double 4.
22. Adam,
He's
you
had his
require
opportunity,
2.
he's had his chance here as Kevin Painter.
But now it's the madhouse for
Gate shot on
Lipscombe.
the fourth
Eventually
leg,
finds
Adam
it,
Lipscombe.
eventually wins the leg. A leg he was in full control and full command of. But nonetheless, finds himself a leg away from what
Fifth
would
leg,
be
it's Kevin
a
to throw
second
first.
success of the evening. He
Game
thought he had
on.
the throw in leg 5. It's KP with the darts. Still struggling with finding the right place to grip the dart, isn't he, Kev?
81.
Wasn't just you who got my reference in that last one. Peter got it as well. He said he'd capture it. He wouldn't let it slip.
97. 45.
Coming up next, Bialecki against Collins. Already a massive game that for Sebastian Bialecki.
60.
And what's so important in a Group B scenario, if you are new to us here at the Super Series, great to have you with us first and foremost, is as important as points are, because it's 3 from 5 that go through. How many weeks we sit in this commentary box and we see
45.
going through and going out be separated by legs difference. Already losing that first game 4-0 could put Bialecki in a bit of trouble if he cannot recover for the rest
80.
of the night.
I think he's far too consistent to have those worries, Sebastian Bialecki, but you can feel like it can slip away very quickly in a Group B, because where it's a bonus that you don't have too much time in the back
58.
room, it can also be a hindrance in the fact that you don't really have time. You feel like you're literally on the hockey a lot of the night. You come out, you play your game, you've got a game
45.
break. It's just enough time to go to the toilet, refresh, and get yourself ready to come back up again. This is becoming a serious concern at the moment for Kevin Painter. It's becoming almost every dart here.
60.
You can see the despondent look now.
$139.
And now Lipscombe leaves himself on a T2, complete a 4-1 win.
There he's saying, wow, a treble.
135. Adam, you
I feel
require
like he's just
80.
got to try and enjoy the experience as much as possible, and that talent will come through.
40. Kevin, you
Well, that
require
2 treble turn
77.
kept Painter in the picture. 56 left, so 16 for tops. 1 dart to save the match. And a miss on tops
37.
presents Lipscombe with an opportunity
Adam,
on
you require
tops
40.
to claim his second success of the night. And a 4-1 win would
Get
put
shot
him
and the
to the
match,
top of the
Adam
table.
Lipscombe.
Adam Lipscombe gets the better of Kevin Painter by 4 legs to 1. Baby boy is the top boy so far, and you cannot remove that smile which beams from ear to ear. A 4-1 win for the local lad Lipscombe against Kevin Painter, who's going to have work to do in the second half of the session. Coming up after the break, Sebastian Bialecki, who was installed as the bookmaker's favourite to win Group B, up against Rob Collins. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where that man in your picture, Sebastian Bialecki, was the bookmakers' favourite to win Group B at the beginning of proceedings, but a 4-0 defeat to Adam Lipscombe in his first game of the night has put that tag in a lot of peril. Rob Collins' opponent in the second game of his evening session, the second game of both players' evening session, and at the end of this match, he would have reached the halfway point of the night. Collins lost 4-1 to BEAU GREAVES in his opening match, averaged 84.72. Only had a couple of darts at double and took one of them on the back of a 76 combo. As far as Bialecki was concerned, he averaged 82, but was on the other end of that Adam Lipscombe onslaught. He's made it 2 from 2, having got the better of Kevin Painter by 4 legs to 1. And already, there are 2 dominant forces emerging at the top of this particular pack.
They are, but they've got to go head-to-head in about 15 minutes' time.
100.
So something's got to give. Bialecki, I feel like he's hardly been on that stage tonight because he was on it and he got caught up in a bit of a whirlwind that is known as Adam Lipscombe. He was on and off in a matter of minutes.
7 minutes, 16 seconds to be precise.
90.
It's hardly enough time to say, hello, my name's Sebastian Bialecki.
Whether that'll be on one of the updates on his Twitter page.
For which we know you are an avid follower of.
96.
He follows me back.
Ooh, Twitter friends.
Talking about friends, our friends in the chat room are tuning in their droves. Do let us know where you're tuning in from this evening. Could be in the United Kingdom, could be from Poland, could be from anywhere in the world. Do let us know where you're watching the Modus Super Series from this evening. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already.
97.
And you can follow us on our social media feeds, Facebook, X and Instagram at MSS Darts as Bialecki leaves himself on 118 to take out the opening leg.
I normally say, could you also let us know who you're tuning in for, but I've got a feeling it might be a very popular answer in the way of BEAU GREAVES. If you're tuning in for Bialecki,
Game shot on the first
time
leg.
to get happy.
Sebastian
That's his
Bialecki.
first leg on the board tonight, and he's done it in a bit of style.
Second leg.
That's the second 118 out we've seen so far this evening. BEAU GREAVES took one out in the opening leg of her game against Collins. That's twice now. Rob Collins has been hit with a 118 haymaker in the opening leg of a match.
I mean, when you look at this group on paper, you fully expected it to be littered with quality darts.
So many times when Sebastian Bialecki's here in a group, he harbours a lot of headlines. He's being allowed to go under the radar. And remember, he's a heavy favourite with the odds compilers to win this group. I think he's going to enjoy this tag of being the favourite but being able to go under the radar.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people do like to be deemed as the underdog, to go under the radar. And even when they get up to the high ranks, when they're in the top 16, they still want to be classed as the underdog. No one wants to be the favourite. It's a completely different pressure.
98.
Fair to say there's a lot of people tuning in tonight. There's so many comments on that, I'm not going to be able to hardly read any of them. Canada, the United States, South Africa, Brazil,
58.
you name it. Denmark,
Portsmouth.
A worldwide audience joining us tonight for Super Series action. Great to have you here.
140.
Bialecki here. Putting aside the 4-0 drubbing he had against him against Adam Lipscombe in
59.
game 1. Double 12
Sebastian
here
required
for a potential
24.
13 dart leg. Averaging 108 in these early stages. Has got a bit of time to open up a 2-0 lead.
12.
And he's going to need the full 6. Elder tuning in from Reykjavik in Iceland, one of those nations you've won a WDF title in.
Lovely place.
Enjoy it over in Reykjavik.
140. Sebastian, you require 12.
Is Bialecki going to enjoy it on double six? He's already missed this a couple of times, and this
Game
time
shot
under a
on the
bit more
second
pressure.
leg.
But
Sebastian
Bialecki gets
Bialecki.
the break, and he opens up a 2-0 lead over Rob Collins.
Third leg, it's Sebastian to throw first. Game on.
Also, looks like all three of my fans are in the chat room tonight. Good to have you here.
Fans or burner accounts?
Have you found your one fan yet?
100.
Oh, you have, haven't you? You called her mum.
How has my mum got into it? What is this? Year 5 geography
140.
map? Grow up.
$90. $45.
Bialecki fully in control of this one. Looking to get his first points on the board of this group.
$100.
Really is building up ahead of steam. Bialecki going to open up and fashion a 3-0 lead, averaging 102.9, and his second max of the match.
96. Sebastian, you require 131.
Really has reacted well to the disappointment of the last result. It's almost something to say, okay,
99.
that's what's hit against me. I'm going to come out and I'm going to play on that same field. If that's the bar you're setting, I'm going to come out and match it. We only had
Sebastian, you
100
require
average
32.
in the whole of the Group A campaign. We've already had one tonight in Group B. We're on here for a second.
Game
BEAU
shot on the
Greaves
third
very
leg.
nearly
Sebastian
gave us one as well,
Bialecki.
hitting the post, ending up with a 97 average. But Bialecki still running over the ton.
Fourth leg, it's Rob to throw first.
100.20 the
Game on.
average of Bialecki following the first three legs.
And this really is the performance and maturity from Seb when you consider the disappointment of game 1.
100.
To come back out and play like this. Credit's got to go where credit's due. He's a player at age 20, but we don't talk about him as a 20-year-old because he's got experience and maturity way beyond
60.
his years.
$81. $59.
Well, this is a better leg from Rob. His first max of the match, the third of the encounter.
60. Rob, you require 140.
140 to pull a leg back. He's got 6 from here. And he's going to need the full quota, the full allotment.
100.
Goes high to keep safe and to leave tops after 12 to bring it back to 3-1.
$60.
Well, after
Rob,
he
you
heaped
require 40.
all sorts of praise upon Bialecki, the Poles had an off leg.
Here's one you can kind of afford to have. It is one of the legs where Rob Collins is not only throwing first, but he's throwing very well first. Still using his mind correctly here and using the board
56.
management is Sebastian
Rob, you
Bialecki.
require 10.
Not just throwing him in the direction and hoping.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Rob Collins.
I think he enjoyed that, Rob Collins.
He was hulking up, I think, wasn't he? He's getting
Fifth leg,
angry.
Sebastian to throw first.
You know what they say.
Game on.
You won't like him when he's angry.
That's an angry man.
$40.
Now, this just poses a little bit of a question. Because We have said at times Sebastian Bialecki just tightens up a little bit when he's got a bit of daylight.
57.
We just saw him there just moving the arm around at the back of the stage. Just is that tension just starting to come back into the arm now? He's got something where essentially it's his game to lose from here. He's done the hard work. He's gone
100.
through those motions, those moments in games where you think, if I take this, I should go on to win. He's now in that point where maybe he feels he should.
97.
However, Sebastian will feel this is the leg on throw to get it done. You don't want the twitchy nervousness of a last leg decider to try and hold throw. May not need it with darts like that.
Oh, absolutely not. When you're in front like this and your opponent starts coming back, it sort of ticks off the opportunities. It goes from having 4 chances to 3 to 2, and every time it just raises the anxiety levels.
$93.
1-2-8 for Bialecki to round off a comprehensive victory, but there has been a Collins counter-attack in the last couple of legs, and that 140 really does threaten the break of throw. And now we get to a position where this is must hit.
It started well. It's on. Double 10.
118.
Fine effort. Even gives himself a clap.
67.
But Rob Collins, after 12 darts, leaves himself a possible 2-darter. He's going to get 2. At double 8.
Game shot on the 5th leg, Rob Collins.
Oh, look at that from Rob Collins. He's up for this. He has been here a couple of times recently, playing well, but without getting results. And it looks like he's just going to force the matter on this occasion. Bialecki was running away with this, averaging well over 100 for the first 3 legs, but 2 things have happened here.
84.
Sebastian Bialecki has dropped his average by 9 points, while Rob Collins has took his up around about the same, and where that's meeting us is probably somewhere in the middle where we may be looking at a level game
100.
in about 2 minutes' time.
An even kilted encounter, 91-88 plays 89-57, and Collins really doing his damage in the 2 treble scoring stakes, 5 140 throws compared to Bialecki's 2, completely cancelling out the extra max that the Pole has had in this match.
38.
After this game, we'll reach the halfway point of the night where we'll be revealing the lineup for next week here at the Super Series. And if it's the first time that you've tuned in, well, it's a great time to tune in, because next week we're going to have 8 superb sessions featuring some global stars of the sport. Players who have played on the biggest stages in the sport, have won on the biggest stages in the sport.
Against some of the biggest players in the sport.
And Matthew Edgar.
70.
Be most of the lineup, I think that will.
Well, Collins here, from 3-0 down, if he takes out the 109, could take us all the way to what will be our first last leg. So it's actually the first game that's gone beyond 5 legs this evening. Great find with the second. Double 16.
77. Sebastian, you require 142.
It's been mightily impressive from Rob Collins, but Bialecki's going to want to get this over with. He's going to want to put this to bed. But it may all come down to 1 leg.
122. Rob, you require.
That's been a
32.
stupendous turnaround from Collins. And we are going to have a crescendo. He's won 3 legs in 48 darts, and we have a last leg decider.
7th and final leg. Sebastian to throw
3-0
first.
down. He has taken us the distance, but it's Bialecki who has the darts, but quite possibly with his tail between his legs.
Needed to find a treble and has.
96.
That is the minimum requirement. Put the pressure on Collins. Force him into hitting 2.
59.
Again, does the requirement, finds the red, finds the treble. That's all he'll be thinking, just one treble a throw. We'll get him into that 5, possibly 6 visit block, which will force Collins into the opposite, into a 15 or 12 dart leg. He's going to have to be averaging over the ton.
Bigger leg for Collins and Seb?
135.
I think after the effort that he's put into this to turn it around, he'll be disappointed to walk off stage with a defeat. But unless he finds a treble here,
61.
and not that one.
And now it's in the hands of Bialecki, who has seen off the Collins counter-attack. Collins quite literally has his head in his hand at the back of the stage.
39.
Get your head out your hands there, Rob Collins. You've been given a reprieve. You've been given a lifeline.
$47. Sebastian, you require 148.
The lifeline was phone a friend and they didn't answer.
Well, the 148 isn't going to go for the match, but Seb had a couple of opportunities to complete the job.
97.
That treble there leaves himself on a single to double combination to get the job done. Collins worked hard to get himself back in the match, but you sense he needs a max, definitely a 2 treble turn to par the pressure on Bialecki, and he crowbars a second into the treble 20 bed. But Bialecki, 51 for the match, and to get his first win on the board. Double 16 is found, and Bialecki is on the board, bolted in the winner's enclosure. Rob Collins did well to bring the match to a last leg decider after going 3-0 down early on in proceedings, but it is Sebastian Bialecki who picks the points up, his first points up, and already we're at the halfway point of this evening's action. What a night we have seen so far. BEAU GREAVES and Adam Lipscombe, the top 2 will go toe-to-toe in a few minutes' time. But before we do that, myself and Matthew Egg are going to reflect upon what we've seen and also reveal the lineup for next week here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Welcome back to the live lounge in Portsmouth. What a night we've enjoyed here at the Modus Super Series. Myself and Matthew Aker have been watching every single dart in the commentary box. This is what we've seen up to press. 2 wins for BEAU GREAVES, 2 wins for Adam Lipscombe. Them two have been the dominant forces in the group and have put in some spectacular performances.
I think you're going to pick up on a word you said at the very start of that, enjoyed. A night we've enjoyed. I've certainly enjoyed it. I know you certainly have. We spoke about on the way in, and I'm sure the viewers are really enjoying what they've seen so far. And how can you not? It's been a fantastic night of action so far. Adam Lipscombe is sort of coming from off the radar to actually be one of the real front runners in this group. The performances that he has put forward have been absolutely fantastic. But the highlight of the night was BEAU GREAVES. She's the story, she's the headline act, and she's delivering. She's not faltering under the pressure, she's actually blossoming.
And the fact that she went in with such a big tag, not the favourite of the bookies, but a lot of people had a lot of high hopes and expectations for her coming into this format. The fact that she settled so quickly and put in the performances that she has, that say a lot about her temperament and under pressure, the fact that she's got no nerves on that stage.
It'll be experience as well, and I mentioned on commentary that it's a lifestyle for BEAU GREAVES. I remember watching her in a programme when she was 11 years old. This is all she knows, and it's just second nature to her. This is literally her life. So if that's all you do all the time and this is what you want to do, then there should be no nerves with that. And she's got such a breath of fresh air attitude about her. In the interview she had at the start of the night, it really was just, I'm going to play with a smile on my face regardless of what happens, win, lose or draw. Not that you can draw, but it's a great expression. But winning is what she's doing, and she's making it look quite easy here against established players.
Under pressure, when there's been 1 or 2 moments, even though she's been quite convincing in terms of wins, but there's been 1 or 2 moments she's been put under pressure, and it feels like the better somebody plays against her, the better she gets.
It's buoyancy, isn't it? Buoyancy under pressure. You get a ball and you push it underwater, the harder you push it down, the more it's going to resist. That's BEAU GREAVES. She doesn't sink. She doesn't absorb the water. She doesn't soak it in. She just fights back. And that's probably more impressive than if she came here and just blew everybody away. If she came here and had everything her own way, yes, it'd be impressive, but you'd always have that question mark. What if someone hits her back? She's been hit back, and in this next game, I think she's going to be hit hard.
And it's not just about BEAU GREAVES as far as this Group B is concerned, because there's been another player who really has come out and emerged from the pack. Adam Lipscombe was 9-1 with the odds compilers at the beginning of the evening to go on and win this Group B. He came out the tracks by beating the favourite Sebastian Bialecki with 105 average, and then backed it up in the next game.
Backed it away a victory over the World Championship runner-up, Kevin Painter. And Adam Lipscombe, we said if he starts the night well, I expect it to continue. Well, he couldn't have started any better than a 105 average. And it wasn't just myself. I noticed the chat room on YouTube, very impressed with Adam Lipscombe, his setup shots, his finishing. And he's had 3 tumblers checkouts already tonight. So he's going to be a big threat in this one. But I think this is going to be a big test for both. It'll be really interesting to see how it comes out on top.
Well, let's have a look then at the league table, the halfway point of the night. As we know, Greaves and Lipscombe are the top 2. Lipscombe in front on legs difference. Let's talk about Sebastian Bialecki then. 3rd place in the table, got bamboozled by Lipscombe in game 1. But we were saying in commentary in that second match, it was a performance of real maturity to come back from that defeat, a heavy defeat, and to play like he did against Rob, especially considering he was pulled back from 3-0 to 3-3.
That's the impressive thing for me. After a negative result from Sebastian Bialecki losing 4-0 in his opening game, to being 3-0 up, to then being 3-0, and Rob Collins wasn't making it easy for him. He was dominating and owning that stage. He was playing well on the dartboard, but his mannerisms can be quite intimidating at times, especially for a 20-year-old. Rob Collins is quite an imposing and intimidating figure, and he was trying to impose himself on that fixture, and he was on both ends of the hockey. So for Sebastian Bialecki to put the last leg in that he did and to close it out the way he did, really impressive. And again, great maturity from a guy just 20 years old, which is key to remember, because I think sometimes it feels like Sebastian Bialecki's been around for a long, long time, and he has. So experienced customer.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about this Group B in just a second. But we're going to flash forward now into next week's action, because there really is an impressive cast list of players. We said there was players that played on world stages, a world championship runner-up in Andy Hamilton. But let's be honest, it's the top 2 names that are going to harbour the headlines. Fallon Sherritt took on Ted Evans in one of the most historic games of darts that ever played, when Fallon Sherritt, to quote the great Rod Stud, smashed the glass ceiling.
And we're going to see it at least 3 times here because the Group A will be played over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So a real good opportunity to relive that moment again. Andy Hamilton really has been hitting some good form as well. So it's going to be great to see him here for a whole week. Or I say a whole week. He'll be hoping he's here for 3 days and then the finals. And
your mate.
There's a name on there. I don't like seeing this man.
Darius Labanauskas. Why? What happened, Matt? Enlighten us.
He's cost me a lot of money, that man has. He's knocked me out twice in the PDC World Championships at the Alexander Palace stage, and I've not forgiven him yet.
Talking about players who may not have been forgiving their opponent for World Championship matches, how will Ted Everts take on the fact that he's taken on Fallon Sherrick after, obviously, that match? Everyone knows all about it, and obviously everything that followed for Ted on the back end. Obviously, sometimes when you talk about big matches, you don't often talk about the loser, and it did for a little while have a little bit of an effect on him.
It did. He did have quite a backlash from that. There's an amazing documentary out there on YouTube as well regarding what that meant for Ted Everts losing that fixture and how it impacted his life and his confidence. So it did knock him back. It knocked him back quite a bit, and I think a lot of that was due to the negativity he received off the back of that. So maybe could get a little bit of revenge. I don't think he'll ever fully feel satisfied. A lot of the time we sit here and go, oh, there's an opportunity for revenge. There's an opportunity to win a game, but you never really avenge that moment. That scar cuts quite deep, and it will only be a revenge when something of similar importance is on the line again.
Well, let's talk about Group B and C, which takes place later on in the week, because, again, another really intriguing line. Now, Shane McGurk has already been in action in this series. He won 14 from 15 in Group A. Richie Howson and Ross Montgomery are a real World Seniors vibe to Group B. And Johnny Haynes is our oldest ever winner of a week here in the Super Series. Whoever drops out of that very tough-looking Group A, particularly in B, are not going to have their own way at all. And, of course, Justin Hood, former weekly winner.
Yeah, weekly winners all over the place there. Talent all over the place. That is a good week. I mean, I look forward to seeing the odds on that one, see which way the odds compilers are going to go. Not an easy week to pick apart. It's not easy to pick 6 to make the Saturday, never mind to pick the one that's going to win.
Well, 9:30 on Monday morning on the Super Series YouTube channel for that. And there's a bit of bonus darts for you here at the Live Lounge on Sunday. Something a little bit different. Sunday afternoon from 3 o'clock, we'll see the Modus Super Series charity influencer event. 8 pairs and 8 influencers will be going toe-to-toe for the title and winning money for their chosen charity of choice. Those are the 8 pairs that are going to be in action. Some recognisable names, including the likes of Fallon Sherrick, Ted Everts, Jared Cole, Cam Crabtree, also in action as well. 3 o'clock on the Super Series YouTube channel for that. Well, from that to the Live Lounge, where we are very much in the midst of an intriguing Group B campaign. And the 6th game of the session could well be the best game of the night. It's the top 2 going toe-to-toe as Adam Lipscombe takes on BEAU GREAVES. Both players, 2 wins from 2 as far as their evening is concerned, and doing so in comprehensive fashion too. Greaves dropping just a couple of legs, Lipscombe dropping just the 1 so far in proceedings. This could be a right ding-dong, Matt.
Looking forward to this, and I think we kind of knew the way this was going, didn't we, of the early exchanges of the day. We knew this was building to this big heavyweight clash.
First leg, it's BEAU to throw first. Game on.
Advantage is with BEAU GREAVES on the fact that she will get the throw, and that could be a telling factor between the two.
100.
Is the intrigue about this game as well is, yes, BEAU GREAVES has been hit with stuff at times, but the difference here is you get the sense Lipscombe is going to be
140.
asking constant questions of BEAU.
Oh, absolutely. they're two heavy hitters. We're going to get a lot of answers here.
60.
But look at this from Lipscombe. He's just continuing. Continuing to find that red. Looking to get the breaker throw at the earliest possibility here against BEAU GREAVES.
100.
He's kind of already wrestled away the advantage in the scoring phase. He's only thrown 6 darts and, well,
140.
made that 9 darts with 6 treble 20s.
On for potential 11 dart leg here to break the BEAU GREAVES throw.
57. Adam, you require 81.
Doesn't have to chase the bullseye, and that's why he went treble 10 to leave double 16, and it just
65.
grazes the inside wire there.
Time on his side, though, because this has been a brilliant power scoring leg from Lipscombe. A hat-trick of 140s in the scoring stakes.
60. Adam, you require 16.
Double 8 for 13 dart leg. 14 or 15 will do.
Game shot on the first leg.
And double 4
Adam
is pinned,
Lipscombe.
and Lipscombe gets the break. He leads 1-0.
Second leg.
Well, for the
it's Adam
first
to
time
throw
tonight,
first. Game on.
BEAU GREAVES has gone behind in a match.
82.
And is this where we really pose the questions of BEAU, how she can react to being behind in a game?
Well, she would be very used to having a lot of things her own way on the
85.
various tours in which she plays. And this is sort of the next sort of evolution for
140.
BEAU GREAVES.
140.
You mentioned earlier on that Adam Lipscombe was involved in the only 9 darter hit by a female player on television by Fallon Sherrick. He was the player on the other side of that.
59.
And we've had Chris Mason a lot here in the commentary box of the Super Series who had a 9 darter, the 9 darter hit against him by Phil
59.
Taylor back at the match play in the day. In hindsight, he sees it as a privilege to be a part of it. How do you think Adam would have seen that?
Oh, absolutely, exactly the same.
139. Adam, you require 160.
But he's on an upward trajectory in terms of his darting abilities and career.
100.
And this,
BEAU, you
you
require
feel, has to
78.
go here for BEAU GREAVES. She's going to get 2 darts. Double 6.
Game shot on
And
a
that
second leg.
trend
BEAU GREAVES.
continues here for BEAU GREAVES. Yes, she's missing a couple of darts at doubles, but they are not practical to
Third
her
leg
missing
is
the
BEAU to throw
opportunity.
first.
Functional finishing for BEAU GREAVES is absolutely perfect. She's never missing a chance that's allowing her opponent another visit to the board. This is fantastic from both.
100.
It's fantastic from both.
2 15 darters see us level at 1 apiece in this match. And that is kind of the standard that
45.
we were expecting before this one got underway because of the quality the pair have provided us tonight. You feel that if you have to have more than 5 visits in a leg, you're not going to win the leg.
60. $81.
Sometimes they say a multitude of breaks is indicative of a bad match. Well, 2 breaks at the beginning of this one, and it's been anything but. It's kind of been what is you'd call the par for the
57.
course of the Super Series. Late 80s, decent in terms of the doubling. In fact,
99.
delving into the players' yearly stats, I'd say BEAU GREAVES is level over the course of 12 months. And there is a lot of caveats because there's a lot of games that are one-sided. But she's playing at a level which I think
45.
is the Super Series par for course. 85.27 annual average, 36.71% on the doubles.
135.
Well, she got a throw back, and she might be giving it straight away here. And it will feel like one that has been given away. The first one was won by Adam Lipscombe
100.
with the style of which he
Adam, you
played,
require
but this one
141.
might feel like one that could be lost.
Headed town to go up. Just double checks with referee
93.
Jack Garwood as to what he's left on, and he leaves himself on 48 if this 139 doesn't go. She's already had a 143 and a 118 this evening. She's not going to find a hat trick with time plus outs, but she's going to leave
48.
herself handy just in case this tops doesn't go. And the first dart was such a succulent guide. There was no way the second could have followed. 2-1 Lipscombe, and it's a hat trick of breaks to kickstart this match.
4 flag. It's Adam to throw first. Game on. $85.
If Lipscombe does qualify, being local to here, you will not be able to buy a ticket to the live lounge on Saturday. I remember when he qualified the last time he was here, quite literally all over every social media site across
85.
all group chats, there was a clamour for tickets, and it was getting to a point where people would beg, stealing and borrowing their chance of being here at the live lounge in Portsmouth.
140.
What a lineup we could have. Scott Mitchell, former world champion. BEAU GREAVES, 2-time world champion. Kevin Painter potentially in the mix as well. Adam Lipscombe.
123.
Just have a look at our Group C lineup as well. Marvin van Velzen, the big powerhouse scorer in that. Could be a real good
91.
lineup there, and great board management from BEAU GREAVES to set up on the 170.
100. BEAU, you require 170.
Would have fancied more after that first start.
$50. Adam, you require 108.
Just needs the one treble to get himself a dart at the double. He's looking at the Shanghai on the 18s.
62. 60.
But we talked about
BEAU
shots that
require
needed to go.
120.
It was 78 last time for BEAU GREAVES. This one a little bit trickier. Especially the way that is sat up. She had to move across to the right just to make sure she didn't catch the flight. And again, over to the right side. This is a Stephen Bunting area of the board. What a dart from BEAU GREAVES. Every single one of those darts just blocked off the further target. She had the smallest of areas just to the right-hand side of the double and squeezed it in for a ton-plus checkout. That is 2 clutch finishes for BEAU GREAVES to get herself back into this
100.
Under pressure tonight, BEAU GREAVES has stood up to everything that's been asked of her.
140.
Some people said that this may be an acid test for BEAU GREAVES in terms of her progression, in terms of where her game's at. There was a couple of questions maybe asked before she walked in the building. Well, she's answering them emphatically. And Lipscombe's given as good as he can get.
Well, the one question she's not been able to answer as of yet is, can I hold my throw against Adam Lipscombe? And at the moment,
125.
that is under pressure once again. You feel Lipscombe will be on the better finish.
Well, your tally
60.
chart, Matt,
BEAU
now reads
require
1,600 180s
136.
for the series.
$96.
GREAVES can't take
Adam,
out
you
a ton
require
plus out. Can Lipscombe
121.
find one of his own? This is for the break. 17 would have left the ball. GREAVES leaving tops after 12
57.
for a 3-2 lead.
BEAU, you require 40.
To just 12 darts.
And finally,
30.
there's
Adam,
been
you
a
require 64.
unfunctionality in terms of the finishing for GREAVES. And so Lipscombe's going to have one at tops to break. This is a big moment. It's a big
44.
dart. And that could potentially
BEAU,
be a
you
big miss
require
for
10.
Lipscombe. GREAVES back for double 5.
Game shot on the 5th flag.
Beautifully
BEAU
pinned in the
GREAVES.
middle of the bed, and GREAVES leads 3-2.
A sigh of relief for the
6th flag. It's
supporters
Adam
of
to throw
BEAU
first.
GREAVES, because the way
Game
Adam
on.
Lipscombe's been playing, I think that frustration there for BEAU is because she keeps getting a foot caught in the
80.
fog machine.
Do you remember the first night here where Stephen Burton actually lost a dart down that machine?
140.
We've had a few darts lost here, haven't we, as well? Adam Warner lost a dart, didn't he, in his celebrations when he won just before Christmas? It was actually found months later.
That first dart is perfect for Bo.
135.
You just knew another one had to go in. She'll probably be disappointed she didn't fill it up and get the maximum visit. But just look at those scores here. What a game
100.
of treble 20 peppering.
She's pretty much guaranteeing a treble a go, isn't she, Greaves? And could be on the cusp
96.
of a hat-trick of wins, which would put her on to 6 points and put her in a fantastic position on night 1. For Lipscombe, it wouldn't be a disaster.
85.
You'll still have one more game to go against Rob Collins. That's in match 8 of the evening. But this to wrap it up for BEAU GREAVES. And that's a nice life for the treble. Couldn't find it, couldn't use it. And so Lipscombe 151 to save the game.
Adam, you require 151.
It's on. That would have left tops. So BEAU GREAVES will be expecting at least a match dart here
91.
to make it 3 wins from 3 games on a Super Series debut. She's going to get 2.
Game shot.
And
the match,
only needed
BEAU
the one.
GREAVES.
And it is a hat-trick of wins for BEAU GREAVES as she gets the better of Adam Lipscombe by 4 legs to 2. Bow and Arrow is throwing the golden arrows in this group, and she now is the dominant force as far as things are concerned. A 91.71 average, 50% when it came to the finishing, including that 120 out. Greaves a 4-2 winner over Lipscombe. Coming up after the break, Kevin Painter up against Sebastian Bialecki. And you can join us for a summer of darts here at the Modus Super Series. Dartshop.tv, the place to be. Tickets available for every single week here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth until around about the middle to late July. Champions Week, if you want to be a part of that, our big showpiece occasion where someone's going to pick up £25,000 is on Saturday the 25th of May. It's a week not to be missed. You can get your tickets to the Modus Super Series until the 20th of July. We're here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth on the south coast of England.
First leg, it's Kevin
Game 7 sees Painter and Bialecki go toe-to-toe after BEAU GREAVES beat Adam Lipscombe in the top-of-the-table battle by 4 legs to 2, averaging 91.71, 4 from 8 on the doubles, and a 120 out. But Painter
120
out the traps quickly.
And an equipment change for Kevin Painter. We've been seeing him play with a Johnny Clayton style dart for the most of the night, but he's now moved over to this Nathan Aspinall style dart.
85.
We've noted the issue he's been facing with the grip. Maybe he just feels that this one just gives him more of a reference, more of a push.
45.
Another sort of tapered barrel as it gets thicker towards the point end and thinner towards the stem.
60.
We know Kev is one of those players who's constantly searching for those extra 1%, isn't it? That one bit that he thinks
77.
can make him better than the person he's up against and the opposition in a particular tournament, in a particular field. Even though he's not playing on the PDC circuit in terms
60.
of a professional sense, don't discredit that will and desire to win. If anything, it's as strong now as it ever has been.
Well, there's one thing about Kevin Painter, he hates losing. And I suppose it's kind of a good quality, really, especially in a solo sport, because there is that expression,
140.
show me a good
Kevin,
loser, and I will show you a loser.
You were fairly good at that in your time, weren't you, Matt?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Especially to Darius.
I've absolutely nailed that department.
156.
Can Bialecki nail the 156? It'd be for the breaker from the opening leg. Another one of them. Leads double 18. Just inside.
Kevin, you require 75.
For Painter to draw first blood, 75. Tops. 1-0 Painter, clinically done by the artist.
Second leg, it's Sebastian to throw first. Game on. $60.
Just not getting that feel of the transition between the hands.
60.
And with that, when he brings the dart up to that set position, he'll probably just feel like the point's dipping down rather than the point being up in the air as he likes it to be sat in his hand.
95.
When that point sort of drops down, if it does, it'll engage the shoulder. And with that, you'll start seeing darts drop and the darts stick up
71.
even more aggressively in the board. So he's trying to stop it at the source.
$118.
Well, Bialecki looking to open the door
60.
to win leg 2. A dart at double 18 on the back of the 156 in leg 1. Averaging 94.5. In fact, got about a 20-point lead in the averages, but averages are only a guide. But Bialecki putting in some haymakers now.
177.
That leaves him on 51 after 12 to square this match up at 1 apiece.
Another one of those for Kev will give him the opportunity
85.
of a finish.
Sebastian, you require
Bialecki
51.
now a bit of time on his hands to level us up.
Double 16. Now double 8.
43.
That's been the one issue for Sebastian. at times this week. Not so much this evening. 4 from 9 against Rob, and he only had the one double against Adam.
It feels like that section of the board, which he clearly loves because 55. He preferences it, and he's always trying to leave that area, the 16s and the 8s, but he's not been overly successful down on that sort of bottom left-hand side.
I don't think he's having any luck anywhere on the doubles at the minute.
6.
He clearly was worried about coming inside there as well. He sort of stepped back and looked at the scoreboard and felt like he didn't want to be up here in the madhouse. It's been a leg he's controlled, but a leg 59. That he's letting Kevin Painter back into.
Sebastian, you require 2.
This has to be perfect.
Game
perfect it is.
Leg, Sebastian Bialecki.
Took him a couple of darts, but he got over the line in the end.
Third leg, it's Kevin to throw first.
And it gave us one of those rare scenarios where the biggest and smallest finish on a board was put into the equation.
140.
But that would have been a bonus leg for Kev. He knows with the darts in this game, if he can just get the job done when he needs to get the job done on throat, and he'll be okay.
140.
And it would bunch this group up a little bit because you'd see Greaves on 6, Lipscombe on 4, then Bialecki and Painter be on 2. Collins
60.
takes on Lipscombe next. There could be some congeniality
95.
as far as this group's concerned at the end of the night if certain results go in a certain pattern.
$100.
And we have just ticked past midnight on what was Miss Congeniality Day.
180.
Well, that's a great time for a maximum for Bialecki to set him up on a 2-darter.
43.
And all of a sudden,
86.
Kevin Painter's throw is under serious threat.
Great dart. Double 16. For the breaker throw.
54.
He hopes he has more,
Kevin, you require
but we know Painter has the 158 in the locker.
Has he got the key to unlock the moment?
$44. Sebastian, you require 32.
So it's that area of the board again for Bialecki that he seems to preference and leave.
Game shot on the
Squeezes
third leg.
it in
Sebastian
on the
Bialecki.
third dart, the heartbreak dart there for Kevin Painter. But I think the heartbreak for Painter as well may come in
Fourth leg, it's Sebastian to
the
throw
180
first.
columns. I'm just looking at his Group A campaign. Across his 15 matches, did manage to hit 17 180s, but has yet to hit one tonight. Now, you may know that
140.
a regular practice partner of Kevin Painter have been for around about 13 years now. And Kevin Painter used to hit per session 20
34.
plus 180s per session, because we always track the best finishers, the best legs, the most 180s, and he was always 20 plus. And I think he'll be a bit disappointed that now he's
45.
on his 18th game and he's not yet hit 20.
Hold on.
140.
Almost.
So hold the disappointment for a moment. The main thing here for Kevin Painter is trying to get that throw back. But we know what Bialecki's like. Once he gets his nose in front.
180.
Just normally gives you a little bit of a chance when the finishing line's in sight. But this time Kevin Painter gets the max. His first one of the evening. First one of his Group B campaign. 18th of the week.
Well, Kevin Painter is a massive snooker fan, and so
44.
he more than anybody
Kevin, you
else will
require
enjoy a
147
147 break. And that's what's on offer for him here. $90 left. Tops for bullseye.
104.
And it would have almost been,
Sebastian,
when you consider Daniel
92.
Lee's theatrics earlier on today, the best finish of the day. And that takes some stopping and some doing. Now Bialecki has a go at the ball, and he finds the ball, and he leads 3-1. And Kevin Painter could only have a chuckle in the background about that.
Fifth leg, it's Kevin to throw first.
It's that last dart in hand again.
Game on.
The heartbreak dart. Especially when it's at the bullseye, and you would have felt the bullseye was blocked. Bialecki's darts do kick over to the right-hand side, and you wouldn't have had too much of that to see. He'd have been throwing into the dark. You could see that from the camera angle. We couldn't quite see until it was adjusted
96.
if it was in the bullseye or not. But this is the bit where Bialecki just needs to sharpen up when the finishing line's in sight.
45.
Just starts to stray a little bit. The 40s start to creep into the game. The trebleless visits. And a player like Kevin Painter will recognise that.
180.
How dare I question his 180 hitting tonight? Is it 2 since I mentioned it?
And Seb will know that Kevin's a player you have to physically beat.
57.
He's not one of those that's going to wave the white flag. If there's a chance still winning the match, he will try and conjure up a way. Brings it back to 3-2. He asks the question of
65.
Bialecki on throw. Then if he does make it 3-3, he then becomes the heir apparent favourite to win the match.
59.
And he's got time
Kevin,
for the 160 to
160.
pull one back.
Well, this is what I was saying about Bialecki. When that finishing line's in sight, he seems to get left in the distance. This is very, very comfortable. But Kevin Painter with very little resistance at the moment from the Polishman.
100. Kevin, you require 60.
He can take his time over this 60 if he wants.
Game
Only
shot on
needed
the
a
fifth
2. It's a
leg,
14
Kevin
darter
Painter.
from Painter. Now he's asked the question of Bialecki. He has now told him, can you
Sixth
serve
leg,
it out?
Sebastian to throw
He has the
first.
darts for the match
Game
and a
on.
4-2 win.
He's also sent him a warning shot there, a 14 darter from Kevin Painter, just to remind him of the quality that he possesses.
140. $91.
Good last, just to keep Sebastian Bialecki very aware, keep him on his toes.
$100.
This is good from Bialecki. Already halfway to the finishing line.
100.
This is kind of following the trend of the battle that the pair had yesterday in Group A. Bialecki got over the line for 3. Both players averaging in the mid-80s. Bialecki missing 10 darts at a double. He's missed 10 darts at a double in this game.
59.
Painter being given some opportunities, but took them when they mattered, but couldn't get over the line in that particular contest.
100.
All 3 of these visits from Kevin Painter, he's found that treble with the last dart, and Bialecki has watched that dart go in. Just when he thought he might get a bit of comfort, the only way he's going to get comfort is by his own brilliance here.
140.
Surprised he stayed on the treble, thought he might move away, but it's been a successful visit there for Bialecki. He should get at least a match start. He'll be hoping for 2. Kev just looking to hit and hope that he gets a reprieve.
118.
He does his part.
Sebastian,
Hits
you
big.
require 62.
But this is for the match for Bialecki. He's going to get 1, or he should get 1 as long as he stays straight. The double of choice is tops.
42.
Dips below. Painter returns for 92.
Kevin, you require
I mean,
92.
Bialecki's done everything he can to leave double 16, and on that occasion, changes for the match start.
Again, you see the regrip, but it's perfectly pinned into the treble 20. One left. Doesn't
76.
go. And this for back-to-back wins for
Sebastian, you
Bialecki.
require 20.
It's double 10. Up for fives. And it is a win for Seb. He gets the better of Kevin Painter by 4 legs to 2. The pole now in a very good position. 4 points to his name following that opening defeat to Adam Lipscombe. For Painter, it's his best performance of the night. Both players averaging 88. And that was despite Bialecki missing 12 darts and a double. Painter now has got a huge job on his hands. He takes on Rob Collins later on this evening in what's probably going to be a must-win game. We're going to see Collins in action next when he takes on Adam Lipscombe. Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth for the Modus Super Series. And we are watching Rob Collins and Adam Lipscombe in action. 2 players from the BEAU postcode going toe-to-toe. In what is a truly international event, we have still got some local favourites in action close to the live lounge in Portsmouth. And for Adam Lipscombe, he is going great guns at this present moment in time. Myself, Henry Deacon, and the 2-time WDF ranking event winner, Matthew Edgar, alongside me in commentary to see this one in action. And Adam Lipscombe is playing superb stuff
First
tonight.
leg, it's Adam to throw first.
105.47 average, a couple of ton plus outs in beating Sebastian Bialecki 4-0. Lost out to BEAU GREAVES in the last match despite averaging just a shade under 91. We wondered
78.
where his numbers were going to be compared to a previous appearance here in this series where he played superbly well. Well, they're matching up.
I think they both played really well tonight as well. Rob Collins in that last game as well,
85.
putting in a good performance against Sebastian Bialecki. He was 3-0 down in that one, but managed to turn it around and just missed out in a last leg
45.
shootout. So, really intriguing tussle. The thing is, though, Rob Collins has yet to pick up a victory so far tonight. He's lost his first 2 games.
96.
He does have 2 fixtures still left, this one and another at the end of the night, where for Adam Lipscombe, he'll be the first man over the line to complete his evening's work.
41.
Final games of the evening. Sebastian Bialecki will take on BEAU GREAVES.
100.
Rob Collins will come back to take on Kevin Painter. That will conclude Group B before we return back tomorrow.
118
PM UK time for the conclusion of Group C. Conclusion of this group will be tomorrow from 10 PM, when we'll finally get our lineup for Saturday night and know
100.
who will be joining Scott Mitchell in a chance to pick
65.
up a weekly
Rob, you
title
require
and a ticket
120.
to Champions Week, where there's not many tickets left.
Now we're into the latter ends of Series 7. If you are watching for the first
41.
time this series,
Adam, you
I'll
require
tell you who has qualified in the
154.
next leg. Lipscombe 154 to take out the opener. Not going to be, and so Collins back for 79 to
56. Rob, you require
break the throw
79.
right from the get-go. And he's going to get a dart at top, so at least he should. He will. But he
39.
can't find.
Adam, you require 98.
Finds the treble 18. Double 12 just the other side of the wire into the
92.
double 9.
Rob, you require 40.
3 darts at tops for Collins. Only
Game shot
needs
on
the
the
one.
first
He
leg,
leads
Rob
1-0 with a
Collins.
breaker throw. The players this week looking to become the
Second leg, it's
9th
Rob to
name
throw
into the
first.
Champions
Game
Week fold. BEAU GREAVES actually looking to become the first ever woman to qualify for Champions Week. Fallon Sherrick has lost in a final before to Moreno Michels.
100.
That was the week she hit the 9 darter against Adam Lipscombe. But already in Champions Week so far, Reece Robinson, Connor Heenahan,
97.
Bradley Roos, 2 players who will be into Champions League once again after winning a 3rd weekly title in Neil Duff and Andreas Harrison. Jimmy Van Schie and Bradley Brooks will be making their Champions Week bow. Whereas Kieran
140.
Tian returns following a 2-year layoff. In fact, it's the biggest gap between a first and second time win
120.
here at the Super Series. He won Series 1 Week 6 and now Series 7 Week 8 to book his spot into the finals.
21.
In fact, the defending champion
45.
didn't qualify. Scott Taylor, runner-up in Week 4 to Neil Duff. And the other grand finalist, Tom Sykes, has also failed to qualify. He lost out in the final to Jimmy Van Schie.
44.
Did happen that last series as well, with Jim McEwen not being able to get through to defend his title as well.
Well, only one player has got to the Champions Week after they won the title. That was Luke Littler, who successfully defended
77.
that title in Series 4.
So as it stands, we're in line for another new champion.
6 and 7, potentially,
44.
because Conan didn't qualify.
In fact, we're in for our biggest ever champion,
130.
as the prize fund has
Rob, you
increased for
require
Champions Week up to
152.
£25,000.
Stakes
60.
get higher and bigger
Adam, you
and
require
better with every
32.
passing series. Lipscombe double 16.
Game shot
In
on
it
the second
goes.
leg.
17
Adam
dart
Lipscombe.
leg. The break back for Baby Boy. 1-1.
Third leg. It's Adam to throw first.
Actually, Andy Hamilton
Game
has
on.
been tweeting earlier on this evening at
100.
MSS Darts. You want to get in touch with us via that particular platform. Saying, enjoying watching the darts tonight, the pre-DC Premier League and the Modus Super Series. And he says, safe
57.
to say, darts is in great hands, or safe hands, with Luke Littler and BEAU GREAVES. It's great to see. Littler winning
85.
the Premier League earlier on tonight. Spoiler alert.
100.
And we talk about them as being the flag bearers for the next generation, but there is literally a Henry Ford assembly line of talent just waiting to burst through.
And I'm sure we'll be seeing them right here on the Super Series.
180.
We've seen the likes of Owen Bates, Luke Littler also take to the stage of Cam Crabtree.
136.
As Lipscombe sets up for tops.
Rob, you require
But is he going to get a
164.
poke? Be as big as anything we've seen so far this week. The biggest finish being a 161 hit by Scott Mitchell yesterday.
124.
Both players left on tops
Adam,
after 12, but it's
40.
Lipscombe with first poke.
Game
And he
shot on the
didn't
third
need any
leg,
more
Adam
than one
Lipscombe.
invitation, a 13 darter, and a stare down at the board as well. Lipscombe leads 2-1.
Fourth flag. It's Rob to throw first. Game on.
To Mikey Carr, Ford champions. A couple of
40.
people asking when that does begin. That is on Monday, the 20th of May, the Champions Night, May the 25th.
60.
All live and exclusive here on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel.
140. 137.
This game warming up nicely now. The early jousting is out the way. The gloves are off.
180. 95. Rob, you require 141.
It's not as exciting when the 141's left after 9 darts, is it?
59.
But Collins has put himself in position to square this match up at 2 apiece.
42.
And he
Rob, you require
will
82.
feel like he should get 6 darts. But paid Adam the ultimate respect.
There was the option there to go on to the 15s, which would have guaranteed him a dart back at the bullseye again.
42.
Treble 15 would have left him the double
Adam, you
10.
require 167.
Goes down to go up.
137.
So for 2
Rob,
apiece.
you require 40.
We know if he hits this, he's probably going to growl and grimace at the board.
No score.
Instead,
Adam, you require
gives
30.
himself a beating.
Well, it was that loud that we could hear it from our soundproof commentary box at the top of the stage.
15. Rob, you require 40.
Double 10.
Game shot on the 4th flag, Rob Collins.
Just goes about his business. He knows that there's still a game to be won, Rob Collins. 2-2.
5th flag, it's Adam to throw first. Game on. $85. $125.
And Collins has taken the march here in leg 5. Needs to find a break at some point in the match, and it's probably the perfect leg to do it, because it
40.
then means you're straight away throwing to win the encounter.
$135.
He's yet to win a game so far tonight, Rob Collins. He came into action in game number 3 when he went down 4-1 to BEAU GREAVES.
85.
He also went down 4-3 to Sebastian Bialecki, a game he was 3-0 down in, and brought it back to 3 apiece.
96.
But he's got ruthless on his flights, and he needs to find that ruthless streak here
131. Rob, you require
to get himself
145.
over the line. to try and find a way around
97.
the dart.
Adam, you require 160.
Use the 16s as another option, but another one of those leaves tops.
Game shot on the 5th leg, Adam Lipscombe.
Just leaving a moment to drink that in.
6th leg, it's Rob to throw first. Game on.
Rod Collins wore that one. Huge finish there from Adam Lipscombe. Just when Rob Collins was looking
44.
good for a breaker throw. But that's what Lipscombe's been doing all night.
Well,
81.
Collins had his arms outstretched like Christ the Redeemer, and he was praying that it didn't go, but maybe that just emphasizes the luckless night that he's had thus far.
86.
Because in terms of score, not really much to separate the pair. Collins with a couple more maxis, which cancels out the fact that Liston's had one more ton plus score. But it's that one haymaker moment for Lipscombe that could have just swung in his favour. Collins would have fancied himself for the break.
57.
Well, it had the same effect, that hit from Adam Lipscombe, as if he just stopped the game, turned around, and slapped him across the face.
125.
I don't think that's a wise move when you look at the build of Rob. I think
82.
he could beat most people at an arm wrestle with his pinky finger.
60.
He could probably beat me at an arm wrestle with his fingernails.
100. Adam, you require 150.
He's just took out a 160. It's the same equation. 2 trebles. Would have left a double there for the match.
90. Rob, you require 132.
And Rob replying in kind with a big finish of his own. He can't. Lipscombe should be looking at 2 match darts to complete his night's work, giving him 3 wins from 4. That would be a very
Adam,
happy
you require
return
60.
for the man with the baby on the back of the shirt.
Double 10.
50.
Rob Collins
Rob,
was
you
peering
require
around.
40.
He was looking, he was hoping, he was praying, and his prayers was answered.
What he can't afford to do is
shot on the
spurn
6th leg,
opportunities,
Rob
and he
Collins.
doesn't. 3-3. Last leg decider, Lipscombe with a throw.
7th and final leg. It's Adam to throw first. Game
And
on.
this is a massive leg in terms of how things could sway in the league table. Lipscombe wins it. He moves on to 6 points,
95.
level with BEAU GREAVES. There's an action next to Bialecki. If Collins can win this, it will keep Lipscombe on 4. Collins will be on 2. Can actually go level on points of Lipscombe because he plays Painter in the last game of the evening session. And depending on
58.
results, it could leave things very interesting. As a matter of fact, if Lipscombe wins this leg and Bialecki beats GREAVES, you could actually have the
45.
top 3 players all on 6 points. And Collins v Painter will be playing to pick up the only other points available as far as the evening session is concerned.
57.
This is just the darts of a player that hasn't been able to get a result as of yet.
60.
Just start getting a little bit tight in these situations. The trebleless visits just start to appear a little bit more. Every single moment just weighs so much heavier because every single exchange now matters.
100.
The 100 hasn't pleased Rob Collins.
100.
Be hoping for a 140 here, praying for a 140. He would bid quite high for a 2 treble visit.
96.
Lipscombe with the slender advantage that comes with having the throw.
100.
Tunning his way down.
That's the last 2 visits now that he's managed to save the situation. We're treble with the last dart.
140.
But Collins has made his move for 2 treble turn, forcing this to go. Lipscombe's had 4 ton plus outs tonight, and he needed
49.
one there more than any other
Rob, you
time.
require 50.
to get his first win of the night. He's got 2 darts to tops.
30.
And it doesn't
Adam,
go.
you require 52.
And so to make it 3 wins and 4 tops for Lipscombe. Rob Collins' head is quite literally in his hand. He's in agony.
42.
But he's going to get his go because now Lipscombe spurred his chance.
Rob, you require 20.
You can literally see what this means to Rob Collins. Literally wearing his emotions on his sleeve.
Game shot, undermatch.
And
Rob
here's a win
Collins.
for Rob Collins. It's relief for Rob Collins. Adam Lipscombe tastes defeat, and it means it's going to be a 2-2 night for Baby Boy. A great start, but 2 defeats at the end means it's up for interpretation as to whether he heads through or not. Collins, a 4-3 winner, 82.49 the average in the end. Next up is Bialecki up against BEAU GREAVES. It's our penultimate game of the evening session. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where BEAU GREAVES is chasing a perfect evening here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. A win for the 20-year-old from Doncaster, whose, well, trickiest test this evening has actually been trying not to hit one of the smoke machines, as opposed to possibly what's been happening on the hockey. The 2-time world champion has been playing darts befitting and bestowed of that title, hitting a maximum in practice there. And she takes on Sebastian Bialecki, who at the beginning of the night was installed by the bookmakers as the favourite to win this Group B. It's been a night of ups and downs. Lost his first game 4-0 to Adam Lipscombe, but has bounced back well. 2 victories, 4-3 against Rob Collins and 4-2 against Kevin
First
Painter.
leg, it's Sebastian to throw
Winning
first.
this one.
Game on.
He and Greaves will both be on 6 points following the first day's play. Huge match for both players. If Greaves wins this one, tomorrow evening she'll be within a win at any point, potentially, of progressing through to the finals.
60.
I think regardless of the result here for BEAU GREAVES, she's kind of done the task for the evening. Win 3 matches, get 6 points, put yourself in a good position.
140.
So she can play this with even more freedom than she has played the other games, and she's played those games with a nice air of freedom, a air of confidence, and a smile across the face.
140. 45.
What'll be interesting about this is BEAU, actually, out of players who made debuts here, probably may be used to playing darts at this time of night. When you consider that she plays a lot of her darts in the WDF system, and in most of the tournaments she's going very, very deep in. There'll be times where she's probably having to play it this time of the morning, particularly in places like the Welsh Open.
96. BEAU, you require 161.
Well, some of the tournaments, they have
78.
massive entry numbers. I mean, the Dutch Open, the biggest one of all, yet literally thousands of players enter the Dutch. But most of the events now have several hundred. Most of the time around 600-700 mark. But
104.
bullseye doesn't go
BEAU,
there for Bialecki, and
83.
BEAU GREAVES an opportunity to break the throat of Sebastian Bialecki, and she doesn't let these opportunities pass her by too often, and she doesn't on this occasion. At times, just makes the game look easy.
Second leg, it's BEAU to
Throw
throw
in the
first.
open at 1-0 Greaves.
Game on.
3 legs away from the perfect night.
Oh, that's perfect, isn't it, for BEAU? You should be expecting another one in there.
100.
It certainly was, and a roll of the eyes. Giving us, wasn't an Undertaker impression, it was a disappointment at the fact that, like we expected there, she didn't find another one.
And the thing is, you can look at any department this evening and it's
45.
hard to pick out any negatives. The doubling has been superb. She's had a ton plus out in every single game that she's completed thus far. The scoring has
60.
been immaculate in terms of there's not been many visits where she hasn't been picking trebles up.
It's been solid, hasn't it? For about solid performances all night. Responsive
100.
and good match play.
100.
And there was a lot of people that were tuning in this evening, wondering how she was going to fare. Well, she's acquitted herself superbly,
96.
answering the questions emphatically thus far. And she did say at the beginning of the evening, she's just taking everything as it goes. And even if she wins every game tonight, I don't expect the MO to be any different from that tomorrow.
81.
Absolutely not. Go with what works. Go with that mindset where you're going up there just to enjoy and have the performance, and that means winning will become a byproduct of that formula
60.
rather than going
BEAU
up there
require
thinking purely about the
160.
results.
6 and 160 here to open up a 2-leg lead.
100.
Shaves the 1 off the score. She'll get 2 darts at tops upon her return. Bialecki not really getting out the traps in this
55.
particular contest.
BEAU require 60.
Greaves to a 2-0 lead. Tops. Shuffles across. But
40.
cannot fire home.
Sebastian, you require 145.
145 for Bialecki for the break. Would have been for the break back. Not going to happen. And so Greaves back for double 10. Her
58.
visit functionality this evening
BEAU
has been
require 20.
almost perfect. It will need to be here.
I can only think of one occasion where
Game
it's let her
started,
down,
second
and
leg,
once
BEAU
again,
GREAVES.
absolutely spot on.
Third leg, it's Sebastian to throw first. Game on.
So Greaves 2-0 to the good. Halfway towards a perfect night.
100.
And again, that first dart perfectly laid at the top of the bed.
140. $95.
Again, that's not the worst start to follow off of.
60.
Well, not just the fact that she's been winning, she's also been winning comprehensively this evening. In fact, she's only dropped 4 legs throughout the course of the night. But she may drop one here because Bialecki is going to get 6 darts on 185 to hold the throw, to bring it back to 2-1 and just pose the question. Although Adam Lipscombe posed the question in the previous game and Greaves did come up with the answers.
97.
Great find with the last dart. Much needed find with the last dart to leave himself on a 2-dart finish.
$60. Sebastian, you require 88.
It may just be a dart of the bull here. Bonus. 2 in hand, a double 14.
74.
Not to beat.
BEAU, you require 141.
We know this is Beau's range because she's already took out a 143 tonight. Had to win her opening game. Oh, it's on.
129.
Sebastian Bialecki's heart would have been in his throat. Opting to split. Choosing 2 darts at the double 4. Now the double 2.
Game shot on the third leg. Sebastian Bialecki.
Big dart that for Bialecki. He'd have been in serious danger there of going 3-0 down, the double breaker throw, and likely BEAU would have come up to serve this out.
But as it is, he keeps himself in the contest.
85.
Just think about what a glimpse into the future this particular matchup is. BEAU GREAVES already climbed to the summit of the women's sport on 2 occasions. Won a couple of Dutch Opens, the Women's World Match Play in 2023. Sebastian, with his career very much in front of him. And it'd be amazing to see when their careers are done a long, long time from now, how their CVs stack up.
$96.
I'm sure there'll be quite a lot of titles and events and qualifications to be comparing against.
140.
But in the comparison of this head-to-head clash, it's all about BEAU GREAVES at the moment.
77.
She's going to get 6 darts at the 176 combination here. If she can find a way past into that treble, she'll leave a straight single dart combination here. This is fantastic from BEAU GREAVES. 12 darts thrown, leaves a double once again. This is, I'm going to use the word again, solid.
58.
Averaging just over 96 in this encounter. And for a 3-1 lead, double 9.
27.
Doesn't go. Bialecki has an outside chance on the 145. You sense this has to go.
Rare miss from BEAU GREAVES, not punished, but it was a big ass there for Bialecki. He would have needed
58.
the 2 trebles to give himself the shot.
You require 9.
Smack bang in the middle of the 1.
Game shot on the 4th
Straight
flag.
in the double
BEAU
4
GREAVES.
as well. Again, a roll of the eyes from BEAU GREAVES, who probably feels she's not playing up to her best, but
5th flag.
she's doing more than enough at the moment to
Game on.
get the victory here against Sebastian Bialecki, which would complete a perfect day for BEAU GREAVES. The opportunity to be 100% 4 from 4, go through the card, top the table
80.
overnight, and put herself in a very strong position for Saturday night, which I think if BEAU GREAVES wins this one and you want to see BEAU, I think it's time to get the tickets ordered.
140.
What do you think BEAU GREAVES would have learnt from tonight, though, as well?
I don't think she'd have learned anything she didn't already know. Maybe she had confirmation.
60.
Because we know she hasn't played too much in sort of mixed gender sports. She's tend to stayed more towards the ladies' side of the game. She's not really mixed it up in too many open style events. But maybe
100.
What she might have learned is that she needs to do this a bit more. Because she can more than mix it up here, especially if she goes through this field tonight. This has been a tough field. Alan Lipscombe's been playing some great darts. Rob Collins got a World Championship runner-up in Kevin Painter. It's been a tough lineup for her. And if she goes through this 4 from 4, then maybe it's more of the same.
79.
Maybe we're going to see her down here every series. Maybe we're going to see more of her on the development tour.
I suppose it also clamours that appetite for the Women's Week.
100.
Well, this is textbook. 101 after 12 after a few tons. And it may have to go because that's a perfect setup from Bialecki. A 168 to leave himself on double 8. To finish off a perfect night, the 101 is going to go for Greaves.
49. Sebastian, you require
This is going to have to for Seb.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Sebastian Bialecki.
Squeezes that one in the bottom corner. Gets one leg back on the board. But this is the tough one. This is the hard one. Trying to break the throw of BEAU GREAVES is not going to be any easy task.
This the key leg. This the leg that Greaves has the darts in to complete the card and have a perfect night. And that 60 stars just open up the door of opportunity here for Bialecki.
96.
Has already seen Rob Collins rally back at him this evening and will be hoping to do the counter to Greaves.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? As if we look at the night that's had so far for Sebastian Bialecki, it's been more about Sebastian Bialecki pulling ahead and leading the way and people trying to peg him back. But in fact, this is the other way round. This is Sebastian Bialecki trying to get back into a game. We're getting to see a different side of Bialecki here, and he's doing it very well.
100.
And Bialecki here has taken the darts in leg 6.
$79.
That's an awful deflection there with the last dart. Means that now Greaves has 6. Gonna have to find a treble here. Can't,
60.
and so Bialecki holds all the cards against the darts to take us to a last leg decider.
$145.
His setup play in the last few legs have been immaculate.
$85. Sebastian, you require 41.
To send us the distance.
To break the throw. To become the favourite to go on and win this match. Bialecki a leg away from giving BEAU GREAVES her first defeat up there on the Super Series stage.
7th final leg. It's Sebastian to throw first. Game on.
It's not because BEAU has dropped off, it's because Bialecki's picked up.
Well, on paper, this is a game
100.
very much evenly weighted. Bialecki 87.43, BEAU 88.94, 3 from 8 and 3 from 10 on the doubles. You can hardly separate them. But how timely could that match be from Greaves?
80.
Imagine if she won the match
60.
and completed the card with the perfect leg.
Hang on.
We might not need to imagine it. We might be seeing it. It might be happening.
140.
Seeing was almost believing, but what she has done has put Sebastian Bialecki in a world of trouble. He needed to hit a max there, simple as that. And so she's going to have 6 for the match and to complete the card on night 1.
97.
Bialecki's not really doing too much wrong here. It's all about the brilliance of BEAU. And here she goes again.
170.
She was looking for potential 10 data. Maybe she'll have to settle for 11. Sure, she'd settle for 12, 15, 21. As long as she gets over the line and gets the points. But here comes Bialecki.
140. BEAU require 11.
To complete the perfect night. Double 4. For
Game
win
shot
number
and the
4
match,
for
BEAU
BEAU Greaves. And rounding it off with an 11 dart leg. We've been waiting a long time to see the debut of the 2-time world champion on this stage. And boy, was it worth the wait. 4 wins from 4 matches. BEAU Greaves, bow and arrow, golden arrows. Top of the table, 8 points to her name, 93.8 for the average, 4 from 11 on the doubles. And she has a 4-point cushion at the top of the table overnight, no matter what happens in our final game of the evening between Rod Collins and Kevin Painter after this short break. Well, what a night we've seen here at the Modus Super Series, where BEAU Greaves has won 4 from 4 on night 1 of Group B. We've been waiting a long time for her debut in this competition, and boy, was it worth the wait. The 2-time Women's World Champion kicking off perfectly. Well, from the top of the table to the bottom of it, Rob Collins and Kevin Painter in action in our final game of the evening session. A win for Collins would put him onto 4 points in the table. I mean,
First leg,
Lipscombe and Bialecki couldn't be separated on that particular mark. As a Painter wins this one, everybody's in the race, and it would actually help BEAU Greaves out because it would mean that any one victory tomorrow would confirm her status through to finals night.
It'd take a complete capitulation,
55.
really, from now, wouldn't it, for BEAU Greaves not to qualify through to, but I'm sure now the attention's changed to, can I win the group?
32.
There's been a lot of players who have made high-profile debuts in Series 7, and the weight of that perhaps told on shoulders a little bit. But for BEAU, been anything but. It's probably because she hasn't felt any pressure, because she's not put any pressure on.
$85. $140.
What we have seen is Painter save his better stuff for later on in sessions, and the signs so far this evening were the case
44.
of that, where he improved to a large degree. Even though he lost 4-2 to Sebastian Bialecki, he dragged his average up by the best part of 18 points from game 2.
45.
And then Wednesday, his best 2 performances were his last 2 matches, averaging 91.22 and 86.41.
60. $140.
Good start here for Rob Collins, who has played well tonight. He's really had to dig in at times as well. Nearly turned around
40.
a 3-0 deficit earlier on against Bialecki.
78.
Really has completely wore his heart on his sleeve at times tonight. Really see the passion in his play.
38.
He's got some time here at the back end of the leg. Guaranteed 3.
100. Rob, you acquire 40.
Tots are 1-0. Double 10. One nil Collins.
First leg, Rob Collins. Second leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Well, for those of you still tuning in to us
60.
at this wee hour of the night in the UK, thank you for doing so. And at the end of this game, myself and Matthew Edgar will be interviewing BEAU GREAVES in the studio, so you can hear from the leading lady
58.
as far as Group B is concerned, following the conclusion of this particular encounter. So plenty to keep you entertained at this late hour here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. In snooker terms, a 1 a.m. finish is usually labelled Shredsville, because
29.
usually a game's gone to a last frame decider and there's nerves twitching everywhere. And it's kind of got that similar feel to this particular match, where the loser of this battle has got a lot of work to do on day 2,
84.
particularly if the loser of this game is Kevin Painter.
It becomes the improbable task, not the impossible task. We've seen it before.
58.
A player lose all his games on day 1 and then come back and still manage to qualify. That's the beauty of Group B. You're never really out of it
84.
on the first day, where with a Group C or a Group A, you can kind of lose it on day 1.
140. $60.
Reminder, we'll be back in around about 12 hours' time for the concluding session of Group C, followed by the concluding session of Group B.
138.
So as Group C is concerned, and that feels like a long time ago now, doesn't it? Marvin van Velden and Thomas Lovely both leading the way on 8 points respectively. And it's awesome.
44.
Just madness,
Kevin,
really,
you
from
require
Daniel Lee
76.
today in terms of the finishing department. It's kind of, well, doesn't have to be 25 and Bull, because Collins isn't on a finish. And so it goes treble 17 to leave himself double 12.
52.
He's going to come back for 3 more in hand.
119.
Great recovery. Painter double
Kevin,
12.
required 24. Game
1-1.
on the second leg. Kevin Painter.
Level we are in the final game of the session.
Third leg. It's Rob to throw first. Game on.
I've just had a thought in my head.
Are you allowed to share it?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I think we're okay.
59.
If BEAU GREAVES plays Scott Mitchell on Saturday night, I can't remember many occasions where a player would have played somebody that would have commentated on their world final. Because Scott Mitchell commentated on BEAU GREAVES' second world final.
Well,
60.
Information that could only be known by the most darting of anoraks.
In fair, she definitely played the first person that commentated on her first world final, Lorraine Winstanley.
60.
I don't think there'll be too many times where the male versus the female world champions happened before either.
100.
And it can't happen this year because Andy Bartons has moved over to the PDC since winning the Lakeside. However,
45.
as I sound like Paris Hilton, you have the possibility of the World Seniors champion John Henderson playing BEAU GREAVES here. Could happen at Champions Week because Henderson's yet to play in this series.
100.
And I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to assume he will be at some point.
100. 60. Kevin, you require 156.
156 for Painter for 2-1 lead and the breaker throw. Seen his finish scared a couple of times tonight,
60.
haven't we? But Painter ain't going to
Rob, you
do
require
likewise.
122.
Collins making the 1-2-2 of his throw under severe threat. Just grazes the wire, but can't find a way in to leave
54.
himself the ball.
Kevin, you require
Painter 96 then for 2-1 lead. Great dart. Double 18. 2 9s.
78. Rob, you require 68.
Was that the opportunity that's come to pass for Painter? It's going to have to be 17 ball now. Bullseye for Collins.
43.
Wasn't too far away.
Kevin, you require 18.
And Painter's going to have to toil around the 9-9 again. Finds a way through. Use that first dart as a handy guide. Painter breaks. Leads 2-1 and 2 legs away from his first win of the night.
It's Kevin to throw first.
Most importantly, giving
Game
himself
on.
some hope still that he can get through to Saturday night.
$41.
This has been done before, where a player's done it from 0 on day 2, but
140.
getting 1 win on the opening day gives you a sizable mathematical difference
43.
regarding to the all defeats on the first day. And the thing is, this will be the first fixture tomorrow as well, so before they go head to head with the rest of the pack and the
100.
rest of the field, they will have to play each other. Last game today, first game tomorrow. In that game, Kevin Painter would have the throw as well, so he could play himself into chance here.
58.
Overall, what would be your assessment of the evening session generically?
56.
I don't think we've been too surprised by too much. Maybe the performance of Adam Lipscombe, I think, have probably been a real
99.
highlight in terms of something we didn't expect to see. That 105.47 at the start of the night was absolutely incredible. But I think everyone's played the part in what has been a really entertaining night of darts.
98.
Collins, 107 to level this game up at 2 apiece. It'd be for the break back.
85.
2 holes would have been
Rob, you
then
require
followed by 2 breaks.
107.
He's got 6 from here to complete the job as far as his leg's concerned. Treble 20 would have left himself double 16.
47.
He's himself on 60. Should get a couple of darts at tops upon his return.
85. Rob, you require 60.
Square up at 2 apiece. Tops for Collins. Now double 10.
40.
Doesn't go. It may just be a
Kevin,
solitary
you
dart at the
require
bullseye
90.
here for Painter to move himself a leg away from the victory post.
Well, that eliminates the opportunity of being able to hit a straight single 20 to leave the ball. Now needs to find something. Doesn't like the lie here. He's looking right, he's looking left. He looks like he's going to set right. Look to throw over the flight.
This would be dart of the night if it goes.
65.
And to be honest, he did well to get it to there.
Rob, you require 20.
For Desmond.
Game shot on the
2-2
full flag. Rob
between Collins and Painter in our final salvo of the evening session.
Fifth leg. It's Rob to throw first. Game on. .42.
That is right, 1 AM here in the UK.
100.
For the final game of our Group B action, we do have BEAU GREAVES joining us at the end of the night for a bit of a chat as well, so do stick around for that one. Well, we'll hear from the lady who is top of the table. Gone through the card 4 from 4.
96.
It might be 1 AM here in the UK, but it's 8 PM in Florida where Mike's enjoying his dinner while he's watching the Modus.
Yep, don't make us
83.
jealous at all, Mike. Duff's had a Chinese this evening. Again, stop making us jealous, chat room.
60.
You enjoyed a succulent kebab earlier on this evening, I hear.
I had a nice bit of meat.
90.
It's one of Kevin's favourite delicacies, actually. That one thing he really likes is when we used to go up to Skegness, he used to have a kebab on a pizza.
99.
You're just thinking of that dream combination now, aren't you?
94.
Pizza topped with kebab.
Shouldn't say things like that to me at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, this has
60.
been hard work
Kevin,
for
you
the pair. I
require
think it's
134.
fair to say. Painter, 134 to lead 3-2. Be for another breaker throw. Went for top, sifted below.
94.
Will leave
Rob,
himself
you
on that
require
target if this does
144.
not go. And if this does go, expect a reaction. Not to be.
So Painter to get the breaker throw at the
78.
key time to do
Kevin,
so,
you
the
require
time when you can just
40.
dominate the oche. And he
Game
gets
shot on
it.
the fifth leg.
And this
Kevin
is where he gets to
Painter.
keep Rob Cross stood at the back of the stage, beating himself up quite literally. Gets to walk straight down the oche.
Sixth leg. It's Kevin to throw
And straight
first.
back into that throw
Game
position.
on.
I think what to say about Rob is, yes,
100.
I mean, have a look at that. He gives all the faces and all the mannerisms. But he never ever does it in the face of the opponent. It's, even though he's doing his own thing, it's always respectful. And I don't think that gets enough praise or credit.
I think Kevin Painter might have heard the smack as Rob Collins hit himself in the head, though, but I know exactly what you mean, and I fully agree.
Ollie J, can I get a shout out? It's my birthday.
46.
Happy birthday, Ollie! Hope you have a great day, pal.
41.
And just before Henry bursts into a round of happy birthday to you, we'll just have a look at the scoreboard here to say that this is starting to get a bit critical now for Rob Collins.
140.
Can Painter close in?
Well, he's done
77.
the hard work on a couple of occasions now, getting the breaker throw of Rob Collins. Can he drive home the advantage? He hasn't yet picked up a win tonight. He knows the importance of getting some points on the board.
108.
But he's not going to like what he hears when he looks up and sees this. It was head down while Rob Collins was throwing. That's why he's got that wry smile at the moment, Kevin Painter.
100.
He's now relying on misses from Rob
50.
Collins.
Tops. Double 10.
30.
Clips the wire.
Kevin, you require 102.
This to complete the match and to pick up his first victory of the evening. Again, another stray into the treble 5.
78.
He leaves it handy.
Rob, you require 20.
But Rob, it's on you.
It's double 5. It's
No
well
score.
wide. And now Painter has a tangible chance.
Kevin, you require 24.
Double 12 for 4-2 win. His first win. He has had to wait for this opportunity. Double 6. Collins can't watch. But he's going to have to
And the
shake
match,
his opponent's
Kevin
hand.
Painter.
He's livid with the defeat. But Kevin Painter will be relieved from the win. He eventually gets over the line in the last game of the night. He beats Rob Collins by 4 legs to 2. It wasn't a classic game, but Painter won't care. He's got over the line. He has won his first match of the evening in the last game of the evening. But the player who had the perfect night was BEAU GREAVES. 4 wins from 4 from the 2-time world champion. And myself and Matthew Bialecki will be catching up with her in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we are joined in the studio by BEAU GREAVES. Has had the perfect first night to proceedings here here in the live lounge in Portsmouth. You said before the action got underway, you didn't feel any nerves, you're going to enjoy yourself. It looked like you enjoyed yourself out there.
I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was absolutely great. I played some good games, and yeah, I just enjoyed my darts, and the results came after that.
How did it compare to maybe some preconceptions that you had about this place and the building and the throw up there?
I don't know, it's like I say, when you've not done something before, it's always new going up on the stage. But yeah, do you know what? I just settled in really well and had a good practice and just made sure I just enjoyed it. And do you know what? It's been great.
One thing that was a real key to your night was your ton plus finishing. You had a ton plus finish in each of your opening 3 matches, and that 1-4-3 to take out the opening match against Kevin Painter.
I know. Do you know, it's one of them. I just said to myself, I'll just try and throw out big 20 and just try to keep them straight all night. And luckily I did. But yeah, I mean, they're all bonuses, aren't they, at the end of it? You know what I mean? Averages don't win your games. And I just absolutely loved it. And I look forward to coming back tomorrow night.
Well, Matt's been watching the action with me in the commentary box, and not just impressed with the fact she won 4 games, but it was the fact that there was different manner of victories in there as well, wasn't there?
We said earlier on in the night, if she'd have came here and had everything her own way and just sort of brushed everyone aside, it wouldn't have been as impressive. It would have been great to see and go, oh, wow, well done. But the fact she was under pressure, the fact that people hit her hard, certainly towards the back end of the games as well, really under pressure a lot of the time tonight, but never looked it at any point. And even now, you wouldn't even guess that she's gone through the night she has. Just taking it all in the stride, and real good performance all the way through.
This was the 11 darter in the last leg against Sebastian, and you've been watching some of your highlights on the monitor there. A lot of good moments for yourself. What was the one more than anything else that pleased you the most?
I don't know. I think, do you know what? It's weird, even though I know obviously I can play well and, do you know, I'm a decent dart player, but it's when you've not done something before and you've watched it on telly or on YouTube, you think, God, I hope I win a game. I hope I don't let myself down. And it was nice just to win the first game. And then once I won the first game, I felt really good. And then, you know, everything just sort of followed on. And I didn't feel like getting beat all night, even in that last game against Sebastian. I think I just that 11 dart, I just had a feeling I was going to win the game. It's weird sometimes, obviously, you just know when you're going to win. And I've just had that feeling all night.
I can tell you what a real key highlight was and a real strength of BEAU tonight. It was the functionality on the finishing. Only once out of the entire night was there a time when she came to the hockey and didn't take out a finish that gave her opponent another chance to come to the board. Yes, there'd be a couple of missed darts at double, like you'd miss it and hit it with a second dart, but always in control and not giving the opponent another visit, really controlling those fixtures at the back end of the games. Key strength tonight.
And now overnight, you go in the league leader, having won every single match. Is it just a case now of just starting again tomorrow, fresh page, fresh day, not maybe overlook the table too much?
Yeah, but really, do you know what I mean? Just go home tonight, sleep it off, and then wake up and do exactly the same thing tomorrow. I think I had a real rough patch a few weeks ago, and I've really just come to terms with just trying to enjoy playing, not winning, not losing, just enjoy it. And I know when I'm enjoying it, I play well. And I've been steady tonight. I've not been amazing. Some games have been a bit worse than others, but I've absolutely loved it. I've just enjoyed playing, and that is the main thing in my eyes.
Is that the key to you finding your best, just finding that level where you just really enjoy yourself, and by relaxing and finding that groove, we see the best of BEAU GREAVES on the stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? I can confidently sit here and say, if I'm enjoying myself and I'm playing, and I know I've got that feeling of confidence and stuff, then my best starts will show. And like I say, it's just getting used to certain environments and that. And do you know what I mean? I'm only 20. I've got a long time to go yet. And most of the darts I do play, I try my best to just enjoy it. And yeah, this was definitely a highlight of 2024 so far, is coming here and not losing a game. It's a brilliant start to my weekend.
And who knows, come Saturday night, no female players ever won a week here at the Super Series. We know what you're like in terms of trailblazing, making history. I don't want you to get too far ahead. I don't want to put words in, but how much would that be an achievement for yourself if you could go deep in this competition?
Yeah, I mean, it would be great, obviously. I'd absolutely love to win a week, but for the most part, I mean, I think coming here for just a Thursday and Friday was just a bit of like a trial shift for me type thing, and I've absolutely loved it. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to come back for a full week and try my best at Group A, and but it's one of them. It's just not looking too far ahead, and yeah, I've just loved it, and yeah, like I say, hopefully I'll get through Saturday, and see what happens. You never know, do you?
And it's such a refreshing attitude, Matt, because we see so many players come into the Modus Super Series and there's almost a weight of nerves and a weight of pressure that can almost bog them down on their shoulders, whereas BEAU's playing here tonight with such an air of freedom, and in key moments in key matches, that probably was the difference maker.
A lot of people come here with predetermined ideas. I want to win the week. I want to do this. And it's all based around winning, where sometimes it might not even be in your control. Imagine running into the 105 of Adam Lipscombe earlier on tonight. That could put a defeat out, and you might not do anything wrong in that type of fixture. So you come here, you keep a clear head, you come with confidence, you come seeking happiness, you come seeking to enjoy your darts. Winning becomes a byproduct of all of that, because what happens to happen is instead of getting tense, you just let your natural ability come through. And that's what's happened tonight for BEAU, and that's been a real key strength. And I don't want to say it too loud like it's sat here, but if she keeps that going, we could be looking at the weekly winner here.
Well, BEAU, many congratulations on your first night for Winterfall. We'll see you tomorrow. Many congratulations on tonight. I shall see you first thing tomorrow morning.
Afternoon, isn't it? 1 o'clock?
Yes, afternoon. Right. We shall see you then. 1 o'clock, we will kickstart on the Super Series YouTube channel for the conclusion of Group C. We'll be back with the finale of Group B from 10 p.m. this evening, where, as far as this evening's concerned, well, BEAU's Golden Arrows has fired her to the top of the table. It's a perfect debut night for the two-time world champion. Griever player, one to win the game, one to save the game. This would be some way to secure her first Super Series win.
And it's double 19. She's still going. How much is Rob Collins going to rue that missed start at tops, that opportunity?
108.
It's time for BEAU Greaves. This one a little bit trickier. Especially the way that's sat up. She had to move across to the right just to make sure she didn't catch the flight. And again over to the right side. This is a Stephen Bunting area of the board.